Hello, hello, and welcome to Meatballcraft, Dimensional Ascension. I love salt reactors edition. I'm not so sure about that. We'll be finding out an answer to that question not today, but later. Later, we'll find out if we love salt reactors. I do, as we are starting, as we're loading in, I do want to issue an apology. I did have some audio issues with a couple of episodes ago. Partially my fault, also partially hardware fault. I did have a broken headset and I had to try and wing it with another headset. I thought it would be fine. It really wasn't. I was so quiet that when I was reviewing the footage to upload the video, I could barely hear myself, and my only way to fix it was to just say turn the volume up. So I apologize for that. It is resolved now. I've already tested my audio on my mic and auxiliary. I can hear me just fine on my short little test recordings. So I think that problem is fixed for now until something else breaks. Because stuff's always breaking. That's life. Anyway, we have a lot to go over today, and I've done some prep work to get us ready. So hopefully we don't end up being 2 hours and 40 minutes long again. I'd like to try and avoid having episodes that long if possible. I'd like to try and stick to the 2 hour mark. Excuse me. Today, we'll be opening up a couple of more dimensions. The last few dimensions, actually, that we currently have access to before we launch a rocket and go to the moon. We're also going to be, which we're not doing today, but I know we eventually have to build an advanced rocketry rocket and go into space. That's coming. We've also got a lot of magic to get through, and we have to aggressively progress Astral Sorcery before we go anywhere. But I've prepared for this. Let's see. Okay. So first of all, we're actually going to get into a little bit of blood magic real quick. And I'm going to make these sigils, okay? And these let you cast magic from Blood Alchemy. And the way it works is you have a orb, right? These orbs that I've had to craft that says stores raw life essence. This is essentially what the mod calls your blood network. Imagine it like these are batteries that are remotely hooked up to a storage of blood. Anything you put into the orbs you can't get out again, but you can use it to cast spells and rituals. These sigils are how you cast spells. At least one way you can cast spells. Blood alchemy is a little bit it can get a little bit complex. But the primary means that we're going to do this with is these sigils. I've bookmarked them. I also already have everything we need to make them. So here's how most of this is going to go. Yeah, here we go. So let's go ahead and start with... No. Yes. Okay, we're going to need the ashes. This is all the stuff we'll be using today. I have explanations for everything that you just saw. Let's go ahead and put the big Tartaric gem in there. Most of these are reagents that have to be made on the table. So first of all, let's start with these. Okay, so on the Hellfire Forge, and the positioning of these does matter, which is why I arranged them that way in the box. But this should make a holding reagent, right? Chest, leather, string, string. A minimum of 64 will is required to start it. It drains 20. Okay, and then we end up making 2 of these because we're going to need 2. All right, one of them gets turned into a sigil of holding with an imbued slate is what we need for that. Okay, so arcane ashes, holding reagents, imbued slates. It says work in progress because I don't think this texture was ever finished. Like I may have mentioned, Blood Alchemy is a bit of an old mod. And Shazam, come on, don't leave me hanging. And Shazam, there we go. Okay, now what the Sigil of Holding does is it lets you put other sigils inside of it. So we've essentially just made a backpack for sigils first, which is fine. Then Blood Arsenal adds the sigil of augmented holding, which I believe adds even more slots to it. This is a Blood Arsenal add-on for this mod. So to do this, we're going to go holding reagents, sigil of holding, chest leather, right? Chest leather, and I don't believe this needs the arcane ashes. I think this is made directly on the table, right? And that is, yes, the sigil of augmented holding. Yep, and that adds a ton of slots. There we go. Okay, so we're going to take the Sigil of Holding and the Sigil of Augmented Holding off the list. Now, Sigil of Blood Lamp. I see a light. Okay, this is glowstone, torch, redstone, redstone. Okay, glowstone, torch, redstone, redstone. And it takes an imbued slate to do. This essentially allows us to make light, magical lights, wherever we want. It's quite handy. Sorry, it's very hot where I am today, and I'm quite thirsty. Arcane Ashes, Blood Reagent, Imbued Slate. And this one does have a completed texture, so it gets to look very cool. In older versions of Blood Alchemy, these sigils that you could draw were solid, which meant you could use them to like make the whole floor out of like transparent floating magical runes, which was pretty cool. There we go. Gotta make sure it's bound to meet current Underlord range. So here's how it works. Let me go ahead way down here for an example. Boop. I can just click and I create this little pulsing red light. Okay, and this lasts forever. It doesn't cost anything. It costs a small amount of blood from my blood network to make these. And I believe it can also be fired at a distance. I think it's a projectile. Yeah, it is. You can see the projectile leave, although I'm staring at a bunch of things, so it's not a great example. If I do it here, you'll be able to see it better. You can see I'm actually firing a physical projectile. So it's essentially a projectile light. Very handy. They're also very, very cheap. They only cost like 1 or 2 blood, if I recall correctly. Sigil of the Blood Lamp is very handy. Okay. Let's go ahead and knock that off the list. Sigil of the Blood Lamp. Void Sigil, Lava Sigil, and Water Sigil all kind of come together as one general thing. Okay, the Water Sigil is sugar. Blank slates. Okay, so the Water Sigil is sugar, bucket, bucket. It doesn't have a 4th item. And this allows you, for a small amount of LP, to create a water source block. I believe it also, yes, it has an EMC value because I think this pack makes use of it in other recipes later on, so I'm going to go ahead and teach that to my my thing. I think one of the other ones I may have just used might have also had an EMC value, but that's okay. I can always make it again later if I want to, and just throw it on the table. Then we do this, this, and this. And this is a blank slate. This is one of the earliest spells you can get. You can get this with a tier 1 altar. You just need the altar. You don't even need to build the blood pyramid. This is a tier 1. It only needs a blank slate. Very simple magic, very basic magic. There we go, Water Sigil. I right-click it to myself to bind it to me, so now it is owned by Lord Rain. Infinite Water, anyone? Okay. Take that off. I'll show you what they all do in tandem. Lava, hot, do not eat. It's lava bucket, redstone, cobblestone, coal. So, lava bucket, redstone, cobblestone, coal. Doot doot. Oh. It left me the buckets. That's pretty cute. Go ahead and put those back on the table. I don't need them. There's a little bit of lag. I have found the lag. It's crows, unsurprisingly. Sainagh already confirmed in my comments on an older video that it is in fact crows that cause the lag, which is why he has removed them in later versions of this pack. It's absolutely the crows, 100%. It's crows. And you need a blank. Okay. The walls are slowly filling up with crows, and they're not despawning, and it's causing a lot of lag. I'll show you the crows, actually, and then we will nuke them with magic because it's fun. Yep, there we go. Blood Sigil. There we go. Hot, do not eat. Alright. Take that off. And then Void Sigil, better than a Swiffer. The Void reagent is bucket, string, string, gunpowder. Bucket, string, string, gunpowder, and it makes use of a reinforced slate. Bucket, string, string, gunpowder. Go ahead and take that off the list as well. That's definitely some kind of lag. That is unfortunate. Arcane Ashes, Void Reagents, Reinforced Slate. Okay. Now then, what do these do? Well, So the water sigil makes water, unsurprisingly. Are you shocked? It makes water. Okay, just like that. It costs a small amount of LP. The void sigil voids liquids for a small amount of LP. And the lava sigil, for a large amount of LP, can make lava. But it's very expensive to do this. And I generally recommend that you don't necessarily rely on this, although it can be helpful to own. These kind of come as a set. You kind of want all three of these together, water, lava, and the ability to delete things. These also all go on my Sigil of Augmented Holding. Water, lava, void. There we go. And actually, I think we can put the blood lamp there as well. Yeah, we can. Some sigils work on the thing, and some of them don't. It's not completely universal. Okay, this is super cheap. Actually, we don't even need a reagent. This is just redstone and a blank slate. This is one of the first things they want you to make. We just didn't make it because I'm super lazy. But essentially, the way this works is with arcane ashes, you put redstone in it, and then you put a blank slate in it. This will create what's called a divination sigil, which is essentially this mod's version of a wrench. And you can use the divination sigil to click on various blocks, like your blood altar, for instance, and gain information about them. You can also use it to remotely check your network. Currently, I have 52,520 LP inside my network. This allows me to remotely check it. And I can also click on the Blood Alchemy pyramid up there and check its stats as well and see what's going on with that. I think the divination sigil still functions when it's inside the augmented the sigil of holding. I think it still works. Okay, and last we're going to have one that will not work when it is inside the holding. It's this one. This is one of my favorites. This is added by Animus. It is super, 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 super cool, and it's going to immediately outdate several bits of our technology, actually. So what the Sigil of Phantom Chains does, and yes, I see that it has an EMC value. I will put it on my table. What the Sigil of Phantom Chains does is it makes it so it's essentially a magical Pokeball. I can use this to put any mob I want into a bottle and then just carry it with me. I just conjure a magic bottle and stuff it into there and just walk away with them. It's like a Pokeball. It is a magic spell of Pokeball is what it is. It's extraordinarily useful, and I'll demonstrate it right now on the cows in the foyer. Okay, it's bound to me now. Metastopheles approved. Let's go ahead and put the arcane ashes back in here, and I guess we'll go ahead and put the imbued slate away. We didn't quite need that. I was worried we would, but I think I may have miscounted. We'll put the imbued slate away, and then I will do one of these and put the crate back. So check this. If I were to, for instance, oh, I don't know, go up to these cows. Hey, what happened to that cow? Well, I have it in my inventory. It's called a cow soul now. I've picked it up. It's in this flask, and I can carry it with me. And then wherever I want to put this cow, I can release it. Just like that. That's what the Sigil of Phantom Chains does, is it essentially snapshots a picture of an entity and puts it into a bottle, and then you can carry it with you anywhere. I believe it works on basically everything. I don't think there's anything it won't work on, although it may have some trouble with stuff like the Ender Dragon. Anything that's scripted, anything that has scripts associated with it might break if you try and use the Sigil of Phantom Chains on it, so be mindful of that. Don't go too crazy with it, but it's a very cool tool. Now then, that was a fun little distraction. What are we actually here to do? Great question. Glad you asked. It's daytime right now. So first of all, let's talk about digital organic currency and this block of dragon bones. Okay. So digital organic currency is something we've only just recently gained the ability to make. All right. It is made by combining 4 gold coins, 4 cosmic meatballs, and a sentient meatball. Gold coins drop from mobs. The weird zombie in the aether on that platform where we push the button, it drops the sentient meatballs. Cosmic meatballs are craftable now. We take flux and grains of infinity, 4 of each, and surround a hearty meatball, which is itself, please note that it has an EMC value. We can make as many hearty meatballs as we want. Hearty meatballs are made by pulverizing fiery chops, or by using an induction smelter to combine different types of meat. But Fiery Chops also dropped from King Bam Bam Bam, which is where we got this from. Apparently, some dude named Silverfoot also drops them. Haven't seen this guy yet. But anyway, King Bam 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 drops them. So we can craft digital organic currency. Who can trade this? Well, find the compressed cobblestone in the overworld. Well, we've already found this, right? We know where this is. And yes, this is, by the way, before we get too away to it, this is what the Astral Sorcery teleportation platform looks like. The Celestial Gateway. Currently, it doesn't do anything. You'll notice when I stand on this specifically, there's a dome. If there's more than one gate, you can find it up here. It's like Peter Pan, right? You look for the right star, and when you find it, you can teleport there by crouching and looking directly at it. Currently, this is the only gate I've built, so this is completely useless. However, I have what we need to build another one, and as you can guess by the fact that I've named that one the Abyssal Wastelands, we're going to the Abyssal Wastelands this episode. We're going to the... we're going there because I finally progressed Astral Sorcery enough to get this. Okay, so we don't have to rely on those ridiculous jank teleportation gates. We don't have to rely on the vanilla Buildcraft portals. I don't want to leave that thing active if I can't avoid it. Oh, and I know I said we were going to deal with the merchant. Seeing all these crows reminded me. Check this out. And yeah, I know we're flying over this too. I'll explain this in a minute. Just give me a second. Check out where all these crows are. Look at this hole in the ground. This is what's causing the lag. There's crows just stuffed in the walls. This place is bleeding crows. Like, there's so many crows. You don't understand how many crows there are. Like, it's a real problem. I'm actually going to nuke all of these with a solar beam. I'm a little bit surprised that that didn't make a sound. I'm sorry. Is the sound not coming through? Uh-oh. Are we glitched? I hope we're not. I can do an episode with no sound, but I'd rather not. Are we... Oh no. If it's not one sound thing, it's another sound thing. Do I really want to do an episode without sound? I swear, this one isn't my fault. This is OBS's fault because I think it just had an update and it may have changed some of the settings that I had this turned on to. I'm a little bit upset now. Really? Are you really doing this to me? Come on. Oh, really? Hang on. Let me try quitting out real fast. Save and quit. Shut down the server. Relaunch it and see if we can get the sound back. Because we heard the music from the main menu, right? That was playing, was it not? Options. Music and sounds. Master volume 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. Subtitles off. Output system default. Is this the problem? The output is wrong. But the desktop audio should be recording it from the audio mixer. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Let me wait a minute and see if because I can hear this music when it cuts in on the main menu. I'm sorry, I apologize. I've had so much trouble with the audio recently. It was working perfectly to start with, and now everything has gone wrong. Let me wait just a moment and see if the thing cuts in, because I can tell if the recording hears it, because the desktop audio will jiggle. My mic aux is jiggling because I'm talking. I want to see if the desktop audio is actually picking this up or not. Are you... Please don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. Oh... I think it's just straight up broken now. Why? Why are you doing this to me? For what reason? Let me try system default to... Oh, well, I can hear it now, but can you? Oh, wait, you can. You can hear it. Wait, is that the... That's the difference. Okay, it goes from system default. It needs to be set to my sound card. Okay, because I can see that click is heard on the desktop audio. Back. Okay, okay, it's fixed, it's fixed. I swear, the audio for this is just driving me up a wall. I apologize. Everything was working perfectly in the beginning, and then everything broke. Here's me trying to get through this quickly, and I end up having to troubleshoot stuff live, which I hate. It takes up time. It takes up time. I don't want to waste your time. I was going to say, that looked odd to me because nothing should be set to default because that seems bad. Fortunately, this will fix it. Anyway, it's funny that I only noticed it when I nuked all those crows and... Okay, yeah, sound is working. Good. Anyway, where were we? Murdering. Yes, the murder of crows was getting murdered. They appear to all be dead. I must have nuked them all. Anyway, move that real fast. Put all this crap away. There we go. Anyway, we have unlocked the ability to make digital currency because we now have all the stuff we need to make it. This is what the large compressed cobblestone things that generate in the world are that have a button on top of them. I initially assumed they were a gigantic trap. They're not. They are, in fact. I'll kill all of you later. I've already saved a few crows off screen and put them in bottles because an update that sainagh adds just disables crows. I don't think it removes them entirely, but they can't spawn anymore. So that's a thing. Anyway, and that's the Astral Sorcery platform up there. We're going to go up there in a moment. You're the guy, you're the deep trader, but you're running away because I think you've been attacked by something. I'll just spawn another one, it's fine. I believe the way this works is there's a command block in here and just pushing this button summons him. Yep, there we go. Deep trader. So this guy will trade digital organic currency for Eden dust, and this is like the only trade he has, but that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. Now then, why did that matter? Well, it matters because we can use this to make a boss lure. And I am going to woot this boss. I don't know what we're about to summon. We're actually going to fight 2 bosses this episode. And then we are... No, I'll actually leave that down there. We're going to fight 2 bosses. And we're going to go to several new dimensions. And I have to attune myself in Astral Sorcery before we go anywhere. Because I know that sounds nonsensical if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's fine, trust me. I've also went to considerable expense, but I built almost all of the nuclear craft machinery. This cost a lot to make. I had to go to the end and use the scanner to find 3 stacks of shieldonite. And then I fed it into a fully upgraded ore crusher from Tinker's IO that has 2 Fortune 3 books and the Fortune upgrade into it to 100% chance your odds of being tripled. So that tripled the output, so I had 6 stacks of platinum after I melted it and cast it in the Tinker's smeltery. And then I used almost all of it, making a ton of crap. We still haven't spent all of our basic plating. There's still more stuff we have to make, but I've done a lot of the crafting for nuclear craft. Anyway, I believe... What was this? Was it this? This is what it looked like, wasn't it? Yes. Unusually heavy bone. Right-click to summon a boss. There we go. Quest completed. Unusually heavy bone. I also have learned what those totems are for. And I guess we'll go ahead and do the totems first, because that seems like an appropriate thing to do. In my personal opinion, we'll deal with the totems first. So, in the very beginning of this pack, there is mention of these totems, and you can see them almost from the beginning. They're around. But I didn't know what they did. I said they were creepy, and I moved on. Well, it's a good thing I didn't try and break one, because they summon a boss when they're broken. Specifically, they summon the Leshen from the Witcher, which is could plausibly be called a Wendigo of sorts. I do have all my armor on. Yes, I do. Okay. We're going to fight this guy first. He drops the Leshen Staff, which is important because it's used to craft some things. So let's go ahead and do this right now. Hello. You know, you're not as scary as you could be with that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer nose you got. Okay, you know what? That's a little bit scarier. I'm not going to lie. I think I'm going to switch to the big boy wand for this one. We might need to... Ouch. What is this spell he's got me on that's got these shrubs that are holding me? He's not happy, I'll tell you that. Lots of free bat parts, though. And he's done. Nice. That was a lot scarier a fight than I thought it'd be. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I think, yeah, getting touched by these shrubs slows you. I think if I had broken that in the very beginning of this pack, I would have crapped my pants. That dude would have run me for my lunch money. So did we get the stuff out of him? We got a wolf collar staff, which is not what I wanted to get from him. We need something else from him, and it's not that. We need... There's another staff added by Leshen. So there's apparently 3 staffs, I guess. Howler, Summoned Wolf, Summoned Spider, Leshen. I want the Wild Root staff from him. Okay. Now, these staffs are repaired. They do different things, and you repair them by putting them on a crafting table with different stuff, like Rotten Flesh, Bone, Eye of Ender, and Rabbit's Foot repairs the Wolf Collar staff. The Life Drain staff, I imagine, does exactly what it says it does on the tin. I want the Wild Root staff because the Wild Root staff is used in conjunction with the Teaker staff to begin the crafting of exponentially more ridiculous magic staffs. And I really want to get involved in this. This is like super cool, and I want to start upgrading these. I really want to. But to get started, I need a Wild Root staff. I also know where the Teaker staff is. I found it. It is in... it is on the roof of the Nether. Let's see. Let's go ahead and remove this. You know what? I think I know where there's another one. Oh, wait, no. We don't really need to do that. We can just grind the Leshen to get it, can't we? We can just make a woot thing out of him. Let me try one more, because I know where there's one more. Because if you'll recall, we found one when we were... when we were in the very beginning. Let me see if I can find one more. And then we will, if he doesn't drop this, then I'll make a woot thing of him off screen and grind him until I get the staff. But we'll do one more attempt. We'll find that one I saw in the very, very beginning, and we'll do that. We'll do that one and kill him too. Hopefully that gives me what I want. Okay. Now, if I recall, the way we came in is the spawn is over there on the other side of the water. We swam this distance because it was sunset, right? And I didn't want to hang out at night in an Buildcraft's Corail Darklands biome, because that's a bad idea. And when we hit land, when we made landfall, yep, there it is. There was one in the woods right here. This is him. Okay. Let's go ahead and break this one and see if we can get it from this. And if we don't, that's fine. Well, I'll tell you this for free. The sound effect is very spooky. Lots of free bat wings. That's a thing. Wildroot staff, we got it. Okay. I'll still wound him so we can get the other one, the last staff, the life drain staff, just for laughs. I'll wound him for that. Get out of here. But we now have that, so that's good. Okay, now that it's night, and we've taken care of that, let's go ahead and attune ourselves to Vicio real fast. So, Astral Sorcery. How much do you know about it? That's a hypothetical question because you can't answer me. I'm going to assume the answer is basically nothing. Astral Sorcery is one of my favorite magic mods in modern Minecraft. It's very aesthetic. It's very pretty. I mean, just look at this. This is so cool looking. It's star magic is what it is. It's very nice. So, why are you doing this? I hate it when it starts doing that. There we go. I think the wind carrying me beneath my feet fixed that. It's a minor graphical glitch that can happen sometimes. Usually stopping and waiting for a moment causes it to go away. Anyway, you learn how to cast magic by channeling the power of the stars. Okay, that's essentially how this works. Eventually, though, you're going to see all the constellations that you can see. Every time you find a constellation, it gets marked in the sky. The sky in Astral Sorcery is actually dynamic. Let me go ahead and teleport up real fast. The sky in Astral Sorcery is actually dynamic. You can see all the constellations that you've marked out when they're in the sky, right? They're visible. We are specifically looking for Vicio, okay? Because we want to attune ourselves to Vicio. That's what the attunement altar is down there, that big multi-block structure, that giant blank platform, right? That thing. Okay, and now actually, I don't think Vicio's in the sky tonight, which is unfortunate. We can always fast forward time and solve that problem. But just to show you, I swear, stop that jiggling. Just to show you how it works, right? The way this functions is... Let me just take all these real fast. I had this set up correctly, but I'm going to reset it up so you can see. This whole thing is the attunement altar. There's the altar itself right here, but this multi-block, this giant thing is necessary to make it work. You can tell that if it's working because you notice I break that and now the sparkling goes away. It's not sparkly anymore. The moment I complete that by putting the last block in place, it starts to sparkle. And this is how you know you've set it up correctly when it's sparkling. Anyway, if we put a constellation paper of a constellation we've identified, like Vicio, okay? This is what Vicio looks like. This is a picture of it. This shows what moons it's out in, right? It's out during these phases of the moon, which I think means it actually should be out tonight. Is that a blood moon? Why is that red? Anyway, it should be out tonight because it's a new moon. But if you'll notice while I'm holding Vicio in my offhand, there's these glowing spots that appear on the altar, right? Observe. If we put a spectral relay, these little lenses, if we put one on each of these locations where there's a glowing spot, it will complete. And when the constellation is in the sky, these will all connect and form a glowing symbol of the constellation. Vicio, according to this, should be in the sky because it's in the sky on the night of a new moon, according to the paper. I don't know why it wouldn't be in the sky right now. Maybe it hasn't risen yet. It is solidly night though, but I'm not sure why it's not in the sky yet. Let me wait a moment and see if I need to fast forward or not. I think I might need to fast forward time a bit. Is that dude being chased by whatever that is over there? Yeah, he sure is. That guy's going to get murked. Deep Trader, buddy, you got to... Oh, I killed him by accident. Well, never mind. Y'all didn't see anything. I saved that man, and then he died of natural causes. You didn't see anything. Anyway, we will do this. Let's go ahead and /home. Deep Trader hit the ground too hard. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. We can sleep the night away. By the way, I should mention, Feed the Beast Utilities does give you the power to fast forward time. You can change the times of day or night at your discretion if you want to. It's in the buttons up here in the corner. toggle game mode, toggle rain, set time to day, set time to night. I can also forcibly heal myself. If I'm in critical condition, I can give myself all my hearts back. This is part of the claimed chunks, trash can, leaderboards, quest book, admin panel, client settings. I can look at my team stats and everything. This is all Feed the Beast stuff from the Feed the Beasts, just utilities. I try not to use some of them because some of them are a little bit cheaty. I'm not sure which ones are normally available and which ones are only available to admin, because I always have myself as admin in single-player games, as you should as well, in case you need to use cheats to fix something that's irretrievably broken. But some of it is a little bit OP. I could just change it today and then tonight again, at my discretion. But there are mechanisms in the mod that allow me to do that, such as sleeping in a bed and then using this imperfect ritual from Blood Alchemy to fast forward time. So I don't feel like there's a huge call to do it. Is Vicio in the sky tonight? These are the prime constellations. They're the bright ones. So I shouldn't have to wait more than a single night to get Vicio. Yeah, Vicio should definitely be in the sky according to this. That is absolutely the correct crescent moon. That is... what is that? That is waning crescent or waxing? I'm sorry, I used to be such a huge astronomy nerd. Me, as a 12-year-old, would have kicked my adult's butt for having to ask that question. You don't know if it's waxing or waning? What kind of... I would have gone off on myself for not knowing the answer to that question. I become stupider over time. Come on. Get VCO in the sky. Let's hurry this along. Let me go down there and wait, actually, because I know I've built it correctly. Yep. Let's also get rid of the mobs that are near this because... Eat. There. I was hoping everything would align correctly and I would just be able to blaze through this, but that appears to not be happening. Here's what we can do. While we wait for that, let's summon the other boss and let's see what he does. Unusually heavy bone. I don't know who this is going to be, but it's a thing, and since it needs Eden Dust to summon him, I definitely want to woot him in case he's important. In case his insides are a surprise tool that will help us later. I would like his soul now. So let's go over here away from everything, because I don't know anything about this. I don't know who it's summoning. For all I know, they break blocks in the giant explosion whenever they appear. So let's do that over here. Who are you? What? Bone creature? I'm sorry, what? What on earth did I get from that? Hard bone, content tweaker. Oh, wait a minute. So that's how you get hard bones. Hang on. Okay. Bone creature, fully upgraded wounds. Okay. First of all, get out of here, bug. I don't want to deal with you. Secondly, I'm upset. I didn't realize that would change time. Has the night changed? Are we on a different day now because time got forwarded? It did. Dang it! I don't think it's in the sky anymore. Is it on the sky on a full moon? It is, allegedly. It's allegedly in the sky on a full moon. Let's go back real quick. Okay, I was wondering. Yep, it's up now. Okay, see how it's traced the line, and now we have this giant Vicio symbol. So if I threw a rock crystal or a celestial crystal onto that, or if I threw a mantle onto it, or no, that's not how the mantles work. But if I threw a rock crystal or a celestial crystal onto it, it would attune it to Vicio. I don't want to attune a rock crystal to Vicio. I want to attune myself to Vicio. So we're gonna kill all the mobs around here. Okay. And now that we're alone, I'm going to take off my cloak because I want you to see this because this actually looks really cool. And then I guess we'll also do one of these. This will mess me up for later, but it's fine. Just for the cinematics of it, we'll turn all of these off. For maximum impact. Okay, now check this. This looks really cool. When you step into this, it's going to lift you up into the air and start attuning you. Whoop! I appear to be taking a tremendous amount of damage, and I don't know why. I don't know why there's a million numbers spraying off of me. I don't know why I'm taking 88 damage every fraction of a tick. That's a little bit frightening. Please ignore that. I don't know why that's happening. That's got to be a glitch of some sort. But anyway, as you can see, I'm being attuned to the power of Vicio. Why are we doing this? What's the purpose of this? There's a perk tree in Astral Sorcery. It's a lot like older Diablo-likes or Path of Exile, if you've ever played Path of Exile. And what it does is essentially I gain experience points by taking certain actions. I can then gain points on the tree, okay? And this will allow me to upgrade, okay? We're going to go ahead and go up here real fast to the Astral Sorcery platform. I got to remember I can no longer see these because I turned them all off. Anyway, now you see how a lot of these were blank before? Yeah, well, they're not blank now. Check this out. There's a ton of things I can now observe. I guess this is how you get hard bones from Content Tweaker. I was wondering about that. I was wondering how you got hard bones. Apparently this is how. I guess that's the way you have to farm that guy. I'm kind of really glad I got his Woot Shard. But anyway, let me put my cloak back on. If I were to look at some of these blank sheets, they're not blank anymore. There's nothing there. Oh, well, not true anymore. You've memorized a drawing of Octans. You've memorized a drawing of Fornax. You've memorized a drawing of Pelotrio. You've memorized a drawing of Bootis. You've memorized a drawing of Horologium. You've memorized a drawing of Mineralis. You've memorized a drawing of Lucerna. Okay, it looks like that is in fact the last one because now there's nothing here. Okay, we did it. That's all of them. So there's three kinds of constellations. There's the bright constellations, which are the primary ones. There's the faint constellations, which are the mid-tier ones, which are the ones we've just unlocked. And then there's the dim constellations, which I still can't see because we need to build a special telescope to be able to see them because they're very faint and far away. So why would we do this? Well, it's going to let us upgrade the altar for starters, which is what we're going to do. By the way, these little platforms that I've built, your book will tell you all about them. You can find them in your Astral Tome. The Astral Tome is one of the better in-game documentations for a mod. Some of the in-mod documentations are not great. The Astral Tome is pretty good. This is a way to boost the power of a nearby altar. You can see it's directing the flow of starlight towards the altar to boost the power that's on it. However, if you have too many of these too close together, see how I just leveled up? See how I just leveled up? I went from nothing to 2, right? And you can see as I'm moving, that meter is going up. Check that out. This is the reason I picked Vicio. Each of the primary, I'll show you. We can actually see it now under perks, okay? Each of these primary things, there's this giant skill tree. Each of these, Vicio, Amara, Decidia, Avorcio, and Avitas. Each of these, you gain XP by doing different things. For Amara, by just attuning to it, you get 50% more elemental resistance. You gain experience by taking damage. Decidia, 10% crit hit chance. You gain experience by dealing damage. Avorcio, 20% more mining speed. You gain experience by breaking blocks. Avitas, +2 added to maximum life. You gain experience by building things. Vicio, +1 to reach. Gain XP by traveling the world. That means just by walking around, I gain XP. And since we have all these dimensions that we've got to explore, all these things we have to do, Vicio is, in my opinion, see I'm already at level 3, is one of the best things to pick, especially for adventure packs like Meatballcraft. I strongly recommend you always go Vicio, because even though it may be tempting to go for some of the others, in my experience, because I've maxed out this tree several times in other packs, I've gotten to the max level. In my experience, Vicio is always the best because moving is the one thing you're always doing. You can go long stints without having to mine. You can go long stints where you take no damage. You're always moving around, though. You're always gaining some XP. So Vicio is the best, in my opinion, which is why I attuned to it. I recommend you do as well, but again, I'm not your dad. You can attune to whichever one you want. And yes, by the way, it is possible to build your way out of one of these and towards one of the other routes. It's possible to obtain all of these routes if you want. In fact, if you build towards this center, Singularity, other tree routes can be unlocked without requiring a connection to them. And you also gain 3 extra perk points. So if you build towards this Singularity, you can unlock all of these if you want. but Vicio's the best. Anyway, well, I've got this. Now that we've expanded our knowledge and we can see more, we can also upgrade this altar, which is exactly what we're going to do. Now then, let's go ahead and put some of this stuff away real quick. Yeah, we'll put that away. We'll put the battle sign away for now. Okay, so I have these. I went ahead, I went to the trouble of making templates of each of these, so we don't have to sit here and you watch me try and build these forever, which would be a huge pain. Building gadgets, and let's go ahead and do one of these. Wait, no, is that the wrong building gadget? That is the wrong building gadget. The correct one is in here. Gotcha. So first of all, we're going to want the Celestial Altar, because that's the next altar up from the one that we are on. Okay. So what does the Celestial Altar look like? It looks like this. Okay. It is an upgraded version, and it looks like this. So let us go ahead, and we still are maxed out. What do we need? We should have everything we need for it. What do we need for the next altar? For the next altar, we're going to need 2 Stardust, 2 Aquamarine, 2 Chiseled, or 4 Chiseled and 2 Marble. So Chiseled, Pillar. And a Star Metal Ingots. We may have to fast forward to nighttime for this, but I don't think we will. Oh wait, no, we will. Okay, yeah, it's starting. There we go. It had to be at absolute max to do this. So this is going to transform and turn to the next tier up. But it's also going to break, and we won't be able to use it because we need to upgrade the multi-block it's sitting on top of. This platform will not be sufficient anymore. We're going to have to upgrade to the next one. I could have done a lot of this off screen, but I wanted to do it on screen because I think it's so pretty. Astral Sorcery is one of the coolest looking mods in modern Magic, in modern Minecraft Magic, in my opinion. It looks great. Hellfire PvP did a fantastic job on it. It's just a really cool mod. I'm already at level 6 just from puttering around and doing nothing. This is the power of choosing Vicio, by the way. I will continue to simp for it because it is very good. It is a meta choice, in my opinion. Especially considering we're about to go to the Between Lands and a couple of other dimensions and just fly around and explore. You're going to see me blow through levels. I'm probably going to be like level 20 before this stream ends. Well, not 20. Maybe 12 or 15. Okay, you've learned more about Constellation. Your vision expands. Because I've upgraded this table, my vision has now expanded. Okay, we're going to go ahead and tear this down because we don't need it anymore. I'm going to leave the central part, though, because it's going to help me line up the next one. You can build these by hand. I built them ahead of time. Just so I can use the building gadget to click them into place because I'm extra like that, I guess. I think we have enough to go to the final tier, but I'm going to build the infusion altar just in case. before I try that. I think with these 4 boosters, I've spread them out far enough that we shouldn't be suffering from Starlight cannibalism. I don't think we will, but I could be wrong on that. I might very well end up being incorrect about that, so we'll see. I'll just go ahead and move these in one more step, just so it's even. Level 8. Okay. I think that's correct. Yeah, I did that exactly correctly. Okay. And now you can see, yep, this is maxed out again. We have once again maxed this out. This bar is maxed because we have built everything correctly. And the boosters are boosting this light. We're also very high up and in an intense star field. Let's not forget that too. We are in fact in an intense star field, as the Foisic Resonator betrays. So this is a good spot to be doing this in. Anyway, we're about to gain the ability to make some things that make the height and starfield presence completely irrelevant, but we'll get to that in a moment. Now then, the next thing on the list that we want to build is this, the Starlight Infuser. This is the real reason we're kind of here. Okay, we need one of the buckets, we need the 2 gold, we're going to need another ingot. I made a mistake. I forgot an ingot. That's unfortunate. We can get that real quick, though. 1, 2. Everything else should be fine. Let's go ahead and set that up. This will be a good lesson. This will be a good explanation on how this works. So, I can parse this into a learning experience. So, how does one go about making star metal, right? What does one do? Let's go to, this is too far out, I think. Where was it? It's closer than this. No, not there. Perhaps I've gone not far enough. I've gone not far enough away. We need to go further down. We're looking for the glacier. Teleporting there will be faster, but only if I can get there. Ancient cleared dragon nest. We've definitely gone too far because it shouldn't be as far out as the stronghold. Although I will turn the ender portal back on because we need that. Was it this one? We want the one on the glacier. This is not on the glacier, although we're closer, I think. Aren't we? Where is the glacier? I can just fly from there. Yeah, we're just going to fly from here. I think it'll be faster than me fumbling. I apologize, but let's just go ahead and do this real fast. There we go. Anyway, to make star metal, you need to use starlight to infuse iron ore. Okay. Starlight has to be infused in iron ore. And oh, hey, here's one over here. We can do it here. Actually, no. I'll do it on the glacier because the glacier's already set up for it. It'll just take a little bit longer to get there, but that's fine. The way you direct starlight is using the linking tool. Currently, until we start building our own collector crystals, we have no way of collecting and creating starlight like beams to direct. I'm sorry, was that a Wendigo down there? I have to know. No, that's just a Night Reaper who was hunched over. He's just a Night Reaper with back problems. Wendigos are in this pack. I think they're a Divine RPG mod. One of the mods adds them, and they are present in cold forests at night. They're quite spooky. Let's see, yeah, we're heading straight towards it. Anyway, you have to direct Starlight into iron ore, and it will turn it into star metal ore, which can then either be turned into star dust by grinding it up into a dust, or you can smelt it and turn it into a star metal ingot. So that's actually what we're going to do. We're going to go to the glacier where I know there is a Starlight Temple that I tore down and repurposed into producing star metal. We're going to go here, and then we are going to turn some raw iron, which is on the transmutation table. You can make it. We're going to turn some raw iron into, it's this way. We're going to turn some raw iron into star metal real quick. I thought I had enough. I could have sworn I did. I must have made a mistake. That's fine. We all make mistakes. Okay. Now then, you see how there's a beam of light shooting straight down? This is because I made it by linking. Okay, check this out. Iron. Okay. We'll take an iron ore, and then I will actually undo this so you can see it. Okay. If I shift right click it, I undo all links. Okay, so now it's just this crystal. We can make our own collector crystals now eventually, but for a while you're going to have to rely on the ones that occur in the structures that you find. So if I were to click this, and then I were to click right here, linked correct collector crystal to a block. Now it's pointing directly at this. So do I put this here? No, that's not going to work, because the starlight is going into the block specifically that it is linked to. It doesn't touch blocks that are in the way, and as you notice, if I put something in the way, that vanishes, and I have just put that iron ore into my dank because I'm an idiot, because it just got sucked up. Iron ore. Now, watch if I do this. If I were to put one directly below, like that, link, okay, link, boom, link collector crystal block. See this light coming out of it? Boop, there we go. It turned it into star metal, okay? So now that's star metal ore. So now I can /home. We can go downstairs if we felt so obliged, and we can then throw this into an oven and cook it and cast it into a star metal bar. By the way, these are iron furnaces from Tech Reborn. Their sides can be configured, so they're a lot easier to pull and push from. I've got these set to a round robin for both fuel and inputs, so that means anything I put into the input slot, which is this one, is evenly distributed, and so is the fuel. The fuel is charcoal, and I can evenly distribute things out of this, and then everything will get piped into here and output here. As you can see, boop, there we go. It gets turned into a star metal ingot. There we go, just like that. Star metal is very cool. I believe it actually does have compatibility with Tinkers. Not the armor, unfortunately, but you can, I believe, there is something in this that lets you put it on your thing. Okay, let's go ahead. I don't think we have the Starlight for this now. Oh wait, yes we do. Do it now. Make the thing. Make the thing. We ran out of Starlight. It got too bright. Okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. That's why I have the imperfect ritual stone up here for this. I demand the cosmos move to my desires. If Starlight cuts out in the middle of it, the process just stops. We're going to make this, and then I'm going to upgrade this to the final tier, which will require me to change this setup one more time. But the final tier will let us craft pretty much anything we want, and it won't be the end of Astral Sorcery, but it will be essentially 85 to 90% done with Astral Sorcery once we upgrade to the final tier crafting table. From that point, it's just a matter of making the correct things that we want and using them. Okay, Starlight Infuser. This is an important object. Now then, what do we need to make the last one? It should all be in my inventory. Right. So the things we need, this is why we needed to make the infuser first, is resonating gems. Is we take aquamarine and put it in a Starlight infuser to infuse it, right? And I think we also need what? Does that have to be in no, it's just a normal celestial crystal. Okay, okay. So here's what we're going to do. Take all this, put it back. Yep. Actually, no, that's the wrong thing to do. Where do we want the infuser? I think we will... Starlight Infusion Altar, yes. There. So this is what that looks like. And it is going to have to go somewhere. Let's put it downstairs. Okay. We kind of want this one on our property because we're going to need to use it. Already at level 13, by the way. Power of Vicio, behold. Don't worry, we're almost done with this, and then we're going to go to the Abyssal Wastelands. Not for long, though, mostly just to set up the platform. Unless something dramatic has changed, unless my memory is completely shot, the Abyssal Wastelands is very much one of those dimensions I was talking trash about, in the sense that it's not a... It's one of those dimensions that's just a color, essentially. There's not a lot there, believe it or not. Okay, and there we go. We can just use that to clean everything up. We draw all the crows together because they want to pick up our stuff. Okay, there we go. Much better. Let's go ahead and throw all these seeds in the trash because we don't need them. Okay. Okay. This is what the infusion altar looks like. I don't even have any of my wands on me right now. That sucks. Listen, don't hiss at me about this. Your crows are obnoxious, and I don't want to hear it, buddy, okay? I really don't. Anyway, to make the infusion altar work, first of all, we have to put the Starlight Infuser on the middle of it. It goes on top of this lapis block right there, okay? It's not going to work, though, because these troughs have to be filled with liquid starlight, okay? Which is why we have all these buckets. Sometimes transactions on this table, like there's a 50-50 chance, actually. The transactions on this table will consume some of the starlight that's put on them, that's in these troughs. There is a way to circumvent that, but we can't make one quite yet. We're working towards that. Okay, believe me. It's called a containment chalice. We would need to make a containment chalice for that. Okay. Oh, and by the way, just in case you're curious, if you stand in liquid starlight, it grants you night vision. Is touching it grants you night vision. You can see my night vision is pinned at 15 because I'm standing in it. Just a handy little tip, just a cool little thing. Anyway, so this allows us to infuse starlight into certain substances, among which we need infused aquamarine to make the final table. So let's see if we can do this with the starlight that we have. Click on it. It's going to draw starlight in. I really hope it works without consuming too much starlight. I have more in the background, but I don't want to have to resort to it, okay? We got lucky. We won that coin toss. None was consumed. If one of you runs off with my aquamarines, I'm going to be very upset. Don't mind the flickering. That's the night vision fading away. Okay, we got lucky again. We won the coin toss. None of it was consumed. There's a lot of things, by the way, that can be infused. There's lots of transactions on this table. It lets you turn glass panes directly into glass lenses if you want, although that's irrelevant because glass lenses have an EMC value. You can turn sand into clay. You can turn dirt into grass. You can turn an ender pearl into an eye of ender directly. Gunpowder can be transformed into glowstone. Redstone can be turned into gunpowder. Bones can be turned into bone meal. Blaze rods can be turned into blaze powder. There's several transactions on this that function. What I'm curious about, it also triples certain vanilla ores, and it gives you a guaranteed 9 on your lapis and redstone. But are there any custom recipes he's used? Okay, there's 3. Okay, so 1, shadow bars get turned into resplendent ingots, which is important. That's one of the reasons we're doing this. 2, magic crystals can get turned into radiant crystals. And 3, blocks of dragon scales, silver, automate using the Aldenari, can be turned into radiant scales. Okay. We didn't lose... Oh, yeah, we did lose a bucket there. Okay, we lost 1. So that's fine. We were able to make all 4 with only using one extra bucket. I'll take that. Those are good odds. Let's go ahead and transform that. And then we will go upstairs and make the final Astral Sorcery platform, and then we will vamoose. I have the key and everything. We can leave for Super Hell whenever we want. There. That just makes it easier so I can identify that it's the middle one that needs it. That's why I did that. Yeah, okay. J... Return to the Astral Sorcery platform. Fantastic. We should have everything we need now, I think. Aha, we need 1 celestial crystal. Okay, and we have enough starlight to make it. This is the big one. Check this out. This is what I absolutely needed to do on screen so you can see it, because this is gorgeous. Check this out. It's so beautiful and pure looking. There we go. Challenge complete. Can you take me higher? Your vision expands. You learn more about radiance. All right. Let's go ahead and pull this down because this is now no longer able to work. You can tell because it's red, this is the incorrect platform now. We need the correct platform. And then we will largely be done with Astral Sorcery for now. There's still some stuff to be done that I will show you later, but we're starting to run low on time. So in the interest of expedience, we're going to go ahead and hurry this along. I'm going to leave the central platform because this shape doesn't really change, but the outside edges get changed a little bit, and I think there's some trim that's added up top to complete this to make it correct. So let's go ahead and do one of these. Give me the building gadget. And then we want the iridescent altar. And as you can see, this one has a full extra row. This also has a slot for a crystal that can be attuned, so you can attune the altar by socketing an attuned crystal, a rock crystal or celestial crystal into this to give the altar itself an attunement. And this can also have extra slots added to it by putting spectral relays around it, up to 5. Although some mods add more than that, and considering what sainagh has done with this pack so far, I imagine he's probably got a custom recipe or 2 for that up his sleeve somewhere that we can expect to see in the future. Let's see. There we go. Okay, now then, this one is going to look a little bit like this. There. Boop. And that isn't mine. That gets added automatically once you've completed it. That's how you know it's correct, is you get a little freebie on the top. Watch, I'll break this and it'll disappear. But when I add the iridescent altar, that appears, and that's how you know you've built it correctly. This is a full-sized one. You can see how huge this is. This was enough starlight to max out most of the other altars. This one's barely, it's not even a fifth full, right? This is a massive altar. It can hold a ton of starlight. Anyway, let's move on. We need to get out of here because we are on a clock. Time is ticking away, and I would really like to get to some new things. Okay. So, part of what... Whoa. Oh, that's the stinger for It's a Big Day. Giants are out. I gotcha. Anyway, part of the reason we wanted the resplendent ingots is because they're used to make these new chickens. So, this is one of the next tiers that he's added to this pack. Automate using a containment chalice and 2 mechanical users, which essentially the containment chalice lets you feed liquid starlight into the infusion altar without having to rely on the trough. And then 2 mechanical users, he's essentially saying you can use a mechanical user to place something on the altar, and then you can use another mechanical user you can give it a wand and simulate it clicking on the altar to activate it. Resplendent ingots are made by having shadow bars, and you infuse them to get resplendence. So a resplendent ingot, an attuned celestial crystal, and 7 blaze powders used to make cerium. Okay, but also it's used to make a ton of new eggs. We can make water chickens, slime chickens, emerald chickens, glass, limonite chickens, jade chickens, realmite, prismarine, rosite, gunpowder, prismarine, string, runium, sapphire, lava, netherites, blood gems, emberstones, amethysts, rupees, and auralmite. Now, this is all of the Divine RPG stuff. But in addition to this, this is also the 3 gems needed to make the alchemy crystal, the catalyst that's necessary to make more of those blocks for Project E to make the power flower. This is one of the reasons I wanted to push to this, because now off screen I can make a ton of resplendent ingots and I can really up my chicken game. Also, you use a ton of them to make this unidentified chicken that lays some crazy unidentified stuff that's for later. Anyway, the point is we have now upped our chicken game. Our chicken game is now, we're boosted, okay? So, let's go ahead and put this away. And we'll go ahead and put this away for now. Yeah, for now. We'll put that away too. Give me that. Give me that back. Okay. Yeah, we're pretty good for now. Give me the gateway key. Okay. So, I could teleport there, but I'm going to fly because we need to talk. We need to have a conversation. I need to explain some things. Is that a mimic? That's definitely a mimic. Yeah, you're a mimic crab. It's probably spawned because there's a chest under one of these pillars, because they can only spawn near other chests in the world. Yeah, there's another mimic right over there. Anyway, what is this? Forestry adds the ability to make a multi-block farm. And the actual multi-block is this thing in the middle, made out of farm blocks. And then, depending upon how big the multi-block in the middle is, depends on how big of a footprint the overall farm has. And what you do is if you provide it with power, water, and fertilizer, which fertilizer is here, fertilizer has an EMC value, water is being pumped in here, and power is being delivered wirelessly through a flux point, it will automatically harvest and replant stuff that you put in it. Okay. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is he does an okay job of describing how you do this in the pack. I wanted to bring your attention to one thing, though, which is this seems to not behave very well with Ender IO conduits. I kept having problems while I was running this, where I was trying to automate this and it would run out of water, even though I had it connected to an Ender tank. So I switched from my Ender IO fluid conduits and went back to Buildcraft. This has been working perfectly. Okay, this is why this is on this instead of the new stuff. Because it doesn't need a huge inflow of water, it just needs to be steadily drip-fed more water. Every time it replants something, it needs a little bit of water to do it. I had to resort to Buildcraft. Buildcraft works very reliably for this. The Ender IO stuff is kind of buggy when it's interacting with Forestry. I don't know why. Also, these circuit boards you can make can govern which, because this is divided into 4 quadrants, like that one, that one, that one, and that one. It implies that it can do an automatic gourd farm, and I tried to do one because pumpkins are more valuable than wheat. Because what I'm doing is I don't care about this wheat. What's happening is it's all getting pumped into this ender chest, and then this ender chest, this brown, yellow, brown frequency channel, is it's getting pumped directly into my my power flower to give it more EMC. So all the output products of this farm are being converted back into raw EMC at my power flower. I tried to do pumpkins because they're more valuable than wheat. The problem I ran into is the difference between an automatic farm and a manual farm isn't whether or not it automatically handles it. Because if that was the case, then there's no reason to go to the trouble to build this, right? Just build a pumpkin patch, right? It'll automatically manage it for you, but the wording is a bit deceiving. The difference between an automatic and a manual is an automatic one, the farm will set itself up for you. All you have to do is fill these squares in with dirt and seeds, and it will build the farm for you and lay all the water down. I didn't do any of this. The farm did this. A manual one, you have to put the dirt down, hoe it, put the water down yourself, and then plant everything, and then the farm will maintain it, right? It will keep all the ground hoed and watered, and it will automatically harvest anything that's ripe. The circuit boards imply you can make an automatic or quote-unquote managed gourd farm for pumpkins and melons. I could not get it to work, and I think it may be a bug. I'm pretty sure you're going to have to do a manual one, and the reason I went with wheat is because I just couldn't be bothered to make a manual pumpkin patch. I might switch this over to pumpkins later, but I just wanted to give that as a general service announcement. One, I think some of the stuff in this is a little bit buggy, and two, I strongly recommend using the Buildcraft transport pipes for this because Ender IO fluid conduits are not working correctly for me. I don't know why, but Buildcraft stuff works just fine. Anyway, moving on. Let's head over to the other place. And also, while we're here, I built this little custom structure, which I think is very, very nifty of me, using these Electroblob wizardry things. This is one of the dimensions that we have access to using Arcana portal frames. I made this as the way to get into it. If we read this. The Infinite Fortress. I do not understand why, but after becoming aware of botanical magic, things make more sense. I can now feel new things, including traces. Traces left by some of the creatures roaming Terra. They came here through wormholes, just like me. But now I can sense the scars into space-time they left while traveling here. Okay. Now, the Arcana portal frame, it says, if we were to... Does it tell us? I think it tells us. Yeah, it's in the Book of Worlds, I think. Yeah, it's down here. Place 12 Arcana portals in a horizontal square frame. Place while standing in the center block. So you have to do ender portals the same way if you were to manually create an ender portal. Normally you can't do that because ender portals aren't craftable, but some packs will have you craft the ender portal frame, like Skyblocks and stuff, and you'll have to do it. Essentially, I'm actually going to demonstrate this because some people don't know it. I feel like this is old Minecraft knowledge, game mode 1. But some people don't know it. So I just wanted to show this, E-N-D-E-R, ender. Or end, actually, it's going to be end. So this is an end portal, which I have just cheated in because I can't really make it. So all of these sides look identical, but they're not, okay? There's only one side that can be facing the inside. Like if you see how this is the 3x3 that the portal would form in, only one edge is going to be valid to form the portal out of the 4 edges it has, the 4 sides. All the rest won't work, and if you try and make it, they'll break. Essentially, the edge that's valid is the one that you're looking at when you place it. That's the valid edge right there. These other 3 edges, the 2 sides and the back, aren't valid. It's always the side that's facing you when you place it. So if you have to manually create an end portal, you're going to want to do it just like I just did, so that all of these edges are facing inside. If I were to fill this up with ender eyes, that should turn into an end portal, right? I just wanted to demonstrate that to explain to some people who don't know. I feel like that's kind of common knowledge now, but I also don't recall anyone ever telling me that, so game mode 0. So now you know. I believe the Arcana portal frames work the exact same way. That is essentially what he's describing. And yeah, if we look at it, this actually has a visual indicator that shows it. See how each of these sides are blank, but this one side has a dot on it? It's clearly showing you all dots, I imagine, need to be facing inwards for this to work, right? And I'm actually not standing directly in the middle because I don't want to be teleported there. We're doing some other things right now. I got teleported in there anyway. Okay, I'll just backslash home. I didn't actually mean to go here this soon, but I guess we're here. Ancient entity, excuse you, that sounds creepy. Alrighty then. Screw me, I guess. Arcanium power? What? I guess we're doing this. I was going to go to the other place first, but oh well. Can we place lights? Or is this a dimension that cannot be interacted with? We can place lights. Let me get my shield and my good wand out for this, because I don't know what we're about to run into. Actually, no. I'll have my normal wand out for this. Hello? Well, that's an ominous sound, I'll tell you that. Is there anything here, or is this just a giant dead end? It looks like it's a giant dead end. Ooh, this is the... Hang on. Ancient brick door. Now there's two ancient entities. I don't like the fact that there's more and more ancient entities with each passing moment. We might go back. I'm not sure if I want to be doing this just now. I guess now is as good a time as any, right? Quote unquote, why not? Now there's three of them. I really don't like how the number of ancient entities is slowly increasing over time. I don't like how they have boss health bars. Well, I'll say this. If they were aiming for creepy, they've succeeded. Arcanium extractor. Oh, right. We have to do something with this. I remember now. What was this again? No. This. Okay. A Dramix Altar or a Phoenix Altar and a Wizard's Book. To get dungeon tokens. Right, so this turns Raw Arcanum made in an Arcanum extractor in the Dungeon of Arcana. We need Collector from Divine RPG, dropped by mobs in the Dungeon of Arcana. And then we need Raw Arcanum, usually behind locked doors. Okay, so I need to kill mobs to get the fuel. Hang on. Arcanium extractor. Okay. So there's an extractor here. We need to kill mobs that spawn in this dimension to get the fuel. And then behind locked doors, we have the other thing that we need. Okay. And I think we have the ability to blow these because I noticed that there was a thing. Blasts open blocked doors in Dungeon of Arcana. Consumes 200 Arcana. Well, I don't know how that works. It's ancient brick door, right? Is this not how you're supposed to use it? Because I figured out these wow, that is a low door. That's a place we haven't been. I should have really marked the entrance. I am a fool to have not done that. Well, it says it consumes 200 Arcana when I do this. But what is Arcana? This is Divine RPG stuff, but I don't know much about it. Like, am I doing this wrong? Or wait, no, this is... Ow, 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 ow. This definitely looks like a locked door of some sort, but it says ancient brick door, not harvestable. But are these not the locked doors they want me to open? I guess not. But what is then? Maybe I need to explore more. I'm a little bit confused. Ouch. 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 Let's go ahead and put these away too. At least it's a good way to get crystals. Hello, there is somebody here. I'll say this for real, though. This is definitely the real, authentic wizard experience. Local man goes on chores, accidentally teleports self to another dimension by being a dingus. You have 660 health. I'm pulling out the good wand. That's a little scary. Okay, we've got some collector fragments. I am running into these doors, but I cannot open them with these charges, even though this is what it says is needed to open the door. I must... Is it a thing where I have to level up my Arcana, but I don't know how to do that? I'm worried that may be the problem, is this may be some kind of skill or something I have to level, and mine is too low level, so I can't do anything here, and I might have to leave and come back later. Well, somebody's thing is getting the crap kicked out of them. Deathcrix? By the way, the book does tell us about the swords. Remember how I mentioned the swords that are normally not craftable? I figured out how to make them. You don't find them. I was worried you'd have to find them somewhere. You don't. That's not how it works. You look hideous. I'm sorry. What you have to do is, so they tell you, like, tools of the master wizard is each of these swords, and the swords can also themselves be super enchanted into super versions of themselves, right? However, you'll notice the way you make them is in this wizardry combiner, which is one of his special multi-blocks. It looks like this. I think I could almost make this right now. It would be a little bit expensive to do, but it's not as bad as it looks. What it does is, so I can take master level wands, 2 of some block, it's different with each one, 16 of that elemental crystal, and then 4 master tomes of arcana, and I can turn the master wand into a master sword, right? And essentially what this is, the potency of spells remains the same. I lose 3 spell slots, but I turn it into a sword, and then the sword can be super enchanted, is what it is. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this. Well, let me put it this way. I'm going to do it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do it right away. Because a part of me kind of wants to keep the wands, but that would mean I'd need to get 2 master wands for each one, and that's kind of a pain. I might honestly dip on this. I might / home. And we can do this again another day. Because I have the sneaking suspicion that I don't have enough arcana to do that transaction that they want. I think that may be the reason why I'm trying to throw these bombs against the doors and it's not doing anything. I think that's the problem here. Is I literally don't have the arcana to do this, but I don't know much about Divine RPG, so I'm not sure how to change that, what I would need to do to level it. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to / home after these Razorbacks die on my shield. And then we're going to go to the Wastelands, and then we're going to go to the Betweenlands and some of the other dimensions that we can open up, because we can go to the insect dimension. Like, I've got everything set up to go do that. So let's go do that instead of wasting our time with a puzzle I'm not sure I'm even capable of solving right now. I'll have to do some research into Divine RPG and come back with an answer to this question. But I will get an answer. Okay, we have enough collector fragments that we could create that fuel if we wanted to. The only problem is we now need one of the things, and that's the real issue, is I'm not sure I can make one. So let's go back. By the way, I'm not sure why sometimes when I / home, occasionally the sky breaks and I see a much different and more advanced sun. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but anyway. Let's go ahead and go to the... No. No, not that guy. Redwood Lab. On. There. Welcome to the Redwood Lab. It's still just as burned down as it was last time you saw it. Nothing's really changed. Okay. I think I explained this already. I believe I did this on screen. The whole you need an animal to sacrifice, do the Boogaloo shuffle, all this with the Necronomicon, which we're going to take with us. Give me that. Thank you. Anyway, we're going to make the portal over here because I don't want it anywhere near my base because bad things happen with these portals. I have explained this before. Anyway, the way you do this is once you've made the gate key, okay, which is just the Oblivion Catalyst with 2 more Corallium Pearls and 2 Blaze Rods. We can right-click on the ground to create a portal. Infinite uses. Okay, there we go. That is the gateway to the Abyssal Lands. And I don't want this gate here any longer than strictly necessary. So we're going to go ahead and go right on through. And then we are going to make the... make the Astral Sorcery platform on the other side of it. Now, remember, like I said, these gates instantly transmit you the moment you touch them. This is just lag, I'm pretty sure. Yep, that's input lag. Okay, there we go. We have instantly been transported. Get me out of there. I don't want to be touching that. There's no delay on that. Like I said, these portals are dangerous. Okay, let me go ahead and put my thing back on. Welcome to the Abyssal Lands, by the way. It's a very dingy place. If you recall how I said there are some dimensions added by certain mods that are just like one color, and it sucks. Welcome to one of those dimensions. I don't want that to sound like I'm ragging on Vicio, but to be honest, I kind of am. It's not great. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and build the platform over here on this flat area. And then I am going to... Actually, you know what? We may not be able to do that. Actually, no, we can. I forgot I would have needed to do... Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had a scroll prepared that could create the platform instantly. I had a building square for this, but I think I can remember how to do this from memory. If I recall correctly, it's one of these, and then we do... I'm having to measure this in my brain, so if I'm making boneheaded mistakes, I apologize. We put that there, and then we do one of these, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then it's rune on the bottom. No. It's runed marble on the bottom, engraved on the top, and then we finish filling in the last 4 sooty. I do that first so I know exactly where the thing should go. And then, yes, that's it. Now you'll notice I've gained warp from what? What warped me? I hate this dimension. What are those? See, this is why, I swear, you've gained warp. Absolutely no explanation whatsoever. I think there are special interactions with Buildcraft and Thumbcraft, and let me tell you, I'm not a fan of it. I ain't. I am not about that Necronomicon life. I am not. Let's go ahead and do one of these. I am not about that Necronomicon lifestyle. Three high should be enough to dissuade anything. I don't think there's much in this dimension that can climb. Shoggoths can, but Shoggoths would just blow right through this wall because they break blocks, any blocks they touch that aren't made of monolith stone. I guess I could technically make this whole thing out of monolith stone if I really wanted to because it has EMC value, but I'm not going to bother. This should be a decent perimeter defense against everything here. I don't think there's much that can go through that. I'm going to break the portal because I don't want it here. Be gone. Okay. Now then. Am I slowly gaining warp as long as I'm in this dimension? Is that literally what's happening? Is it the fused Vicio sand that's warping me, or is it something else? I don't like this. I don't like that at all. Go ahead and put that away. Go ahead and put that away. So while we're here, we do need to do something, and I kind of want to do it on screen, which is... So you can make a staff of rending. It's pretty easy to make. I think I already covered this. Staff of Rend. There's different upgrades of it as you go through the different dimensions. It's made. The first one is made from 4 Shadow Gem shards and a Shard of Oblivion. We use this to harness energy from locals, and we need the Abyssal Wasteland essence we get from that. Energy type Abyssal Wasteland. Abyssal Wasteland essences are made by harvesting Abyssal Wasteland energy from Corallium entities. Okay, so we can harvest energy from Corallium entities, like these ghouls. We should be able to anyway. I believe, yes. If I just point it and I just multi-click it, I believe every point of damage I do, I'm just spam clicking it at him. I think every point of damage that we do, yeah, is gaining warp. Or not warp, but we're gaining the abyssal energy. And I'm gaining temporary warp as I do it, too. So it's exact change of 1 point of damage to 1 abyssal energy collected. So I may have to scrub warp for myself when I'm done here. But essentially, this is how you collect that essence. And we're going to need several of those to progress. But these 2 buildings also have chests in them. They are treasure buildings. I'm going to check them. And then we're leaving because we are gaining warp at an alarming rate. I do not like this. I do not like how rapidly the warp is escalating. And I would rather be anywhere but here, quite frankly. Corallium stone. Chest. What's in here? Some stuff. Honestly, not a lot of this is valuable to me anymore. I might come back and collect this later. Some of that is nice-ish, but I'm not too thrilled by it. What's in the other one? Let me go check that other building real fast. Because there's another one over there, then there's another one over there. There's not a lot in this dimension, I should mention. It's mostly just pain and suffering. By the way, that is liquid corallium. And if you touch it, it's a bad time. Don't touch the liquid corallium. Just a hot tip from me to you. This stuff is basically Lovecraftian liquid antimatter. Do not touch it. It is bad news. What's in here? Garnets, mana steel, a magic hood from random things, carved rune of direction. Ooh, a mystical grove biome. I'll take that. Scroll of ward. Most of this is like crappy. I'm not gonna lie. For where we are in the pack right now, not a lot of this is good loot. Let me check up high because sometimes I think there's stuff on the chains. But after this, we're just going to yeet out of here because this is a bad place in general to be. There's stuff you can find if you go mining deep. You can find certain material resources pretty easily, but it's just a bad place to be in general. Is there anything up top? Sometimes, if I recall, there can be things at the top of these. Not always, though. Let that regenerate some. Yeah, I'm just gaining warp over time as I'm in this dimension. That's terrible. I hate it. I hate everything about that. I'm going to have to make the sanitizing soap or something when we get back. I'll do it off screen, but I'm going to have to make some. That's horrible. You can kind of see what I mean, though, by how some of the older Minecraft dimensions are just one color. Welcome to the green dimension. It's green and it'll mess you up, right? Welcome to the bad news green dimension, because that's really all this is. To be fair, though, the old Nether was the bad news red dimension, so like it's not really their fault. Like at least this guy had giant evil chains hanging from the sky and stuff. He tried, right? There was an attempt. Anyway, let me fall back down and let's go back to where we were. And let me mark that as a that is an Abyssal Wasteland Shoggoth. Check that out. It's attacking a skeleton, and the skeleton is going to lose that fight, I think. Can I harvest the Shoggoth? The Shoggoth is not fooled by my invisibility, I'll tell you that much. Wow, the magic worked on the lesser Shoggoth. That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that. I meant to put the Staff of Rending and use that, but whatever. Interesting. I think they have a special flesh. Yeah, Abyssal Shoggoth flesh. They're a special kind of Shoggoth. You get, with each dimension you go to in Buildcraft, it gets worse. But the Shoggoths drop a different kind of flesh that you need. This is Abyssal Shoggoth flesh, not to be confused with the Shoggoth flesh we've been finding. Okay, so if I look up, you see that star right there? Check that out. Watch this. If I crouch and look at it, actually I have to be standing right on top of the Celestial Gateway. Yep. Astral Sorcery is really cool. And check this. Now, this one isn't named because I'm going to move this into the digital dimension where I've got my real base in a minute. But if you look, this actually says Abyssal Wasteland on it. You can see it's got a name. And if I crouch, well, it hasn't done it now, but eventually it'll take a screenshot of that landing pad when I go there, where that location is, and it'll remember what that looks like. So let us, how do we want to handle this? I'm going to go ahead and just dump everything I've got into a chest downstairs. We're going to recharge the wand. Let's open a portal to Erebus, and then we'll go explore the Erebus and the Betweenlands until I feel like stopping, which I think we've already hit our 2-hour mark, or we're coming up very close to it. But I think I can do like maybe 30 more minutes, 30 or 40 more minutes. I know I just said I'm not going to do that, but we're going to do that. Because we spent a lot of time, I feel like we wasted some time here that I could have avoided. I feel bad about that this time. I tried so hard to get through things quickly. But if I don't want to gloss things over, there's a limit to how quick I can speed through things. I could have done all the Astral Sorcery stuff off screen. I just chose not to. Give me that Wolf Collar Staff back, because that's actually important. You can take all of that. I'll sort all that out later. I'll sort all that out later. I'll sort all that out later. That Leopoderm shard I'll take from you, because that's kind of important. We need Leopoderm teeth eventually. I'll take these magic books as well and put them in the right spot. Everything else can get dumped into the general loot extraction, which is just 2 smaller chests flowing into a larger chest that I have yet to empty and sort. It's a disaster in there. It's a catastrophe. It's like a 16-car pile up, but it's a problem for future me, not a problem for today me. Let's go ahead and put these away. Okay. We'll put the Leopoderm thing away real quick. Here in the chest. I've been slowly collecting a woot shard of each of the flavors of Remnant. I haven't tried turning them into a box yet, turning them into an actual factory and running it to test, but I'm hoping that collecting one of each of the types will allow me to make infinite amounts of this spectral dust, because you can take 4 spectral dust to one of those altars out in the wilderness and then turn a block of the normal crystals into a block of the elemental crystals. I'm hoping that being able to farm the spectral dust at will greatly increase the speed at which I can obtain nice things, right? Let's say. Go ahead and put the Wolf Collar Staff away. The Hard Bone is a content tweaker item. Put the Wild Root Staff away. Put the Staff of Rending away for now, and the Gateway Key away for now. Unbreaking Enchantment. Oh! And before we open those portals, I need to go to the Nether and show you what I found there, because I wanted to show this off, because in case anyone is playing along, I want you to see where I got some of this stuff, because I didn't know where to get it until I found it. So remember how I said there's that increasing staff thing you can upgrade to better and better staffs, and that's why I wanted the Wild Root Staff specifically. I'll show you where to get the Teaker Staff. A thick fog appears from nowhere. Something stirs in the depths. I sure hope. Is that not a... Oh, no. Oh, jeez! We've got way too much warp. We've got way too much warp. Jeez. Oh. We've got way too much warp. So if you get too much warp, you can get jumped by an Eldritch Guardian. Which is bad news for you, is what it is. I think I can ride this out by just waiting. This will fade eventually, but that's going to take time, so I'm just going to continue moving towards the Nether. That is spooky, though, just getting jumped like that out of nowhere. That's because I got too much warp too quickly. That is one of the problems that can happen. I read up on that when I was looking into things that can happen when you get warped. Is you can get jumped. There's a version of it where nothing bad happens too. There's a version where it's a fake out and the Eldritch Guardian doesn't appear, but that was a real one where the Eldritch Guardian showed up. Also, there's one where 3 show up and try and jump you. They don't have a lot of health, at least compared to where we are right now. We're throwing around magic that does hundreds of DPS, but they have a respectable 50 health, and I think they do quite a bit of damage if they touch you. So they're not to be trifled with. Anyway, the roof of the Nether, there's some weird stuff up here. There's another battle tower. I found a Thaumcraft Rift. I wanted to bring this up while I was exploring the roof. This is a Thaumcraft Rift. This is what they look like. You do need to scan one of these to progress your studies. I just wanted to bring this to the attention of anyone who's playing along in this pack. If you have reached a point where you need to find a dimensional fracture, or if you need to use your gauntlet on a dimensional fracture to open the way to that one dimension, you can find them on the roof of the Nether. They're up here, just as a heads up. 2, loot this room on recording. This is what I wanted to do. Okay, so there's these buildings that are sort of floating in the sky. This. Now, I've already broken into it and taken a peek in here, but I will show you. Let me also go ahead and take this off. I really need to start aggressively removing some of my markers because some of these dimensions are getting a little crowded. So these chests, this one is full of torches and a feral flare lantern, which is pretty nice loot. If you came here early, you could get a flare lantern and put it on your table pretty much for free. This is also potentially useful in the sense that this is a spawner for, or wait, no, that's enthralled Geramixes. I don't know why. I think there's a spawner for zombie villagers in here too. So, yeah, zombie villager. So if you want to build your own village, this is a good place to potentially pick up a spawner or to pick up mob data. Then you could then get zombie villagers to purify to make your own villagers. This chest has each of the Botanica mystical flowers plus a mega torch, which is pretty nice. I'm not actually going to take that with me because that's a lot of stuff. I don't know if I have the petal pouch on me or not. Do I have the petal pouch? I should. I think I do. I may have put the petal pouch away in my Botania stuff. It's fine. I'll take it anyway because we just emptied our bags. We can afford to take it. Let me just do this. But this is one of each of the colors, which is nice. In case you didn't know, there's a mechanic in Botania. You can plant any of these petals in the ground, and it'll make sparkling ground. And if you bone meal that, it'll grow one of the mystical flowers there for you. So that is a nice little trick that you can use if you can't find specific mystical flowers or if you run out. The real treasure, though, is in this box right here. Okay, this has the Divine Shikaxe. You can get one for free here, and it has a Teaker Staff. Okay, I could have gotten this without having to farm up all the stuff if I really wanted to, but I didn't realize this was here until after I'd made my own. And the Teaker Staff is here as well. And it consumes Arcana to fire. Again, I'm not really clear on the Arcana stat, but it's some kind of, it's essentially a magical gun, I think, is what this is. And as soon as I figure out how Arcana works, I'll let you know if it's any good or not. It might be good. I don't know. It appears to be lobbing tennis balls at people, which, you know what, I'm fine with that. And these are all of the structures from the content tweaker thing that had the no cheating signs on them. Still not sure what that's about. I think we're actually to the point where we could get into some of this. I'm not sure, but anyway, just wanted to do that on screen so you could see it. Hopefully, now that warp event has occurred, we won't get warp evented again. I think that should have calmed it down. I don't think it'll happen again to me, but you never know. Go ahead and warp. Okay. All right. So we've opened the way. We did all that. What else? Right. We've got 2 more dimensions to go to. We can open the gateway to Erebus, and then we're going to explore the Betweenlands is what we were going to do. Okay. So I've got everything we need out here on the grounds, as it were. And actually, you know what? I am going to use this real quick. We're going to set time to day because I just want it to be day. I don't feel like walking backwards. So the way you open the gateway to Erebus is you make a portal out of stone bricks. You fill it with leaves. Okay. Then you place the Gaian keystone block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks away from it. Okay. And then you create a staff of Gaia and click it on the Gaian keystone. And you create the thing using this offering altar. And he says make 2 of them. I don't know why I'm making 2 of them, but that is what it says in the quest book. It says, hey, make 2 of these. Wow, literally nobody living on Terra is actually from Terra. Dimensional shards are desired by everything that becomes aware of them, it seems. And apparently bugs with mastery of witchcraft used it to create wormholes and fight for a piece of the pie. And now I think I know how they did it, and I may be able to travel back to their world. In the Book of Worlds, if we go down to... Where are you? Here. Erebus Caves. Build a frame of stone bricks and fill the inside with leaves. Right-click a Gaian keystone placed 7 blocks away using a Staff of Gaia. Prepare 2 of these setups. I don't know why he said prepare 2 of them, but I did. So anyway, here's what we need. We need to make a Gaian keystone. Gaian keystone? Gaia? It's using the weird funky pronunciation. The Gaian gem, right-click an emerald, diamond, and obsidian on an offering altar, which is which is what this is for. Offering... Right. And this is made really simply. It's just any stone, stone bricks, a gold ingot, and obsidian to make this. Okay. Okay, and to make the Staff of Gaia, we need 1 Gaian gem, 3 sticks, 4 vines, and a gold ingot. So we need 1 Gaian gem, 3 sticks, 4 vines, and a gold ingot. And I should have vines on my thing. There we go. And then I can take this handheld crafting table, and we can do one of these. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. We can do that. Staff of Gaia. There we go. And the key and the lock. Knock, knock, open up the door. It's real with the non-stop pop-pop of stainless steel. All right. That's pretty cool looking. Oh, I see. Interesting. So if I take it away, that disappears, but I'm guessing... I can just rebuild that probably if I need to. I'm not sure why he said make 2 though. Yeah, we can just remake it if we have to. Okay, that's an interesting portal. I'm not sure I've ever seen one like that in modded Minecraft before, but we're gonna go ahead and roll with it. Let's go to Gaia, and this appears to be similar. I think this is similar to the Nether portal. It looks like. Do we have to wait a minute? Yeah, we do. All right, welcome to the Erebus Caves. Ooh, I think I know why he wanted us to make another one. I'm not sure if the instructions were quite clear on that. I didn't realize I'd have to bring one back. It's fine. I can always /home, but that's a little spicy. Okay, so there's 2 things we would have to do here. Antlion egg found in the pyramid in the volcano deserts. And then the Queen of Spiders found in a giant tree in the ulterior outback. So we are currently in the underground jungle, or so it would seem. I'm going to go ahead and mark this as J home portal. That is a very big O. We're going to make that a slightly smaller O. Okay, and I guess we'll dig our way out. We don't really have much choice on that. Is this dirt? No, it's umberstone. What depth are we at? We're low, so I think we need to go high. We need to go higher up to get out of here. Well, that didn't work. Excuse you. Those. Trampoline was slain by wasp. That's not what I want to hear the first time I set foot in the new dimension. I'll tell you that for free. I don't know who Trampoline is, but they've been slain by a wasp, and that sounds like bad news for them. Sorry, Trampoline. I don't know who you are. I don't know what happened. I only know what happened to you, which is you were slain by a wasp. Okay. Let's go ahead and dump all of this real fast. Let's do a quick look-see. Let's do a quick peek around and see what's crack-a-lackin'. Oh, we got colossal bamboo. We got some interesting trees. Sorry, yeah, there we go. Red gems from Erebus. Dark fruit vine. Okay. Dark fruit. Not eaten yet. I don't know what it tastes like. When I figure that out, I'll let you know. This is a very dark dimension. I guess that makes sense because it is entirely underground. Let's see. I do have a solution to this though, which is my old rupee helmet. I added night vision to it as well, which is an enchantment I made. I made it on that enchanting table that lets you make stuff, where you can make enchantments. Amarath, Heart of Wood. Yeah, we'll put that away. So this will light up everything for us substantially. I can see much better. I don't know about you, but I can see way better. I'm in quicksand. I would like to get out, please. Thank you. Mahogany leaves from Erebus. Interesting, interesting. Okay. Let's do a quick fly around and see what we can find. This is like a giant subterranean jungle forest, which I gotta admit is pretty cool. I'm guessing that's one of the giant wasps that killed... Who did it kill? Trampoline. I'm sorry, Trampoline. Rest in peace. F's in the chat. There is no chat. It's just a meme. I'm sorry, Trampoline. What is that? That is a very large thing. That is a giant praying mantis. Oh, that's horrifying. I hate everything about it. It's so cool. Get wrecked. Did you drop anything? Camouflage powder. Oh, that's unnerving. I'm not sure how I feel about the bugs having camouflage. You're lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli. Is that a giant spider down there? Kind of looks like it. It might be a beetle. What are you? Tarantula. Get nuked. Hashtag I'm a wizard. I like this moss bark wood. It has a cool texture to it. That's pretty neat. I'm not entirely sure. Like, it says the... Ooh, wait, that looks like a different biome. Hang on. The tarantula legs. Oh, not eaten yet? Do I have to? I don't wanna. Oh, that's gross. No thanks. I'll do that off screen where I can pretend it never happened and hide my shame. Yeah, underground jungle is transitioning now to Elysian fields. This is a different biome. That's a giant dragonfly. Okay. A botfly. Oh, those are the ones that are like parasites. I hate those. Those are nasty. That's gross. This looks really cool, actually, and it's got these giant flowers as well. Stem from Erebus. Grasshopper. What does this place look like without night vision? Like, if I take the night vision off, how does this look? Because this looks cool in night vision, but... Oh, that's a howler? Oh, that's Divine RPG stuff, I think. I've seen them around. What do you look like when it's dark? It looks okay. I think this place looks better with night vision on, honestly. It looks more like a lost world. I suppose that's the theme, right? Is it's the deep beneath, right? It's the lost world. It's Hollow Earth. I feel like that would be a really cool idea for a modern take on. Oh Lord, glowworms! You're gross. I hate you. You hum. I hate that too. Oh, here's the desert. That'd be a really cool take for a Minecraft dimension to add. Just Hollow Earth. Just that's the dimension. It's a giant cavern system with dinosaurs and like giant insects and stuff. I know there's some older mods that added legitimate kaiju to the game. It'd be pretty cool to put them there too. Like have a straight Hollow Earth, right? Like maybe have a giant like Godzilla-esque monster as the final boss of the dimension or something. It could be pretty cool. Or have a giant gorilla, have a giant monkey be the boss. Fire ants. I hate you in real life. I hate you even more in video games. Don't worry, if you've ever been near fire ants in real life, you know that they deserve that. We might go back. I'm not seeing too much of extreme interest here. Although it is cool to do some initial exploration on... Is that a bouncing mushroom? Punch room. You're not a punch room. The punch rooms are in Dark Souls. The one punch mushrooms that just cock a fist back and slam you into the next dimension. You're not a punch room. You're just some kind of weird trampoline that squeaks. Is that a very large spider? That's a stag beetle. Zombie ant spider. Oh, that's not great. The fungal forest. Oh, is there like cordyceps out here? Oh, hey, there's like giant mushroom men who were slapping each other around, and there's a scorpion beneath me too. The crush shrooms. Yes, this is more like it. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, you see me? I guess you don't like me, huh, big guy? Don't worry, the feeling is mutual. Ooh, the music kicked in. All right. All right. Sometimes the music is in modded Minecraft is a little schizo. It doesn't always chime in correctly. I'm digging it. This is kind of a bop. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely have to get the ice wand up and running to a high level as fast as I can to buff the icicle, because I'm just getting so much mileage out of it. Ooh, Ulterior Outback. This is the place where one of the bosses can be. Inside the giant trees. I'm guessing that's it. Okay. We might fight her if she's here. I'll throw hands with her right now if there's nothing in the way. That'll be a good way to stop. We can go back and explore the Betweenlands. Tarantula Broodmother. Yeah, she's here. Okay, hang on. We're about to throw hands right now. Where are you at? I gotta sit up in my chair a bit. I've been holding very still because I know my chair is squeaky, and I'm trying to not let it squeak because I know my audio picks up on that. Fortunately, I'm invisible, and that seems to hold true for them, but... Alright, I'm not invisible anymore. Some of them have seen me. People with arachnophobia, look away. Do not bear witness to this. Avert your eyes, child. These sights were not for you. Okay, that's floor 1 cleaned up. We'll check the chests in a minute. You can open your eyes now, sweet summer child. They are gone. For now. Well, I'm not going to run short of tarantula legs anytime soon. I'll tell you that for free. What's in the chests? Jade from Erebus. Dark fruit pie from Erebus. Dare I ask what the fruit pie is made out of? I feel like that's a question that should not be asked because you don't want to know the answer to it. It's probably made out of the fruits, realistically. What shade of green is this? We've got a Beetlejuice Bam Bucket. Excuse you. Jade boots, jade chest plates, 2 power enchantment books, a pickaxe, and arrows. Okay. Some of this is going to get thrown in the trash can, but that's fine. Some of it's going to get thrown on the table. What about you? A honey bam bucket, books, iron leggings, and a gold sword with looting and XP boost. Very cute. Let's go ahead and start throwing some things on the table real fast. Put the chests away. Put the arrows away. Put the books away. I guess you can take all of this. Here's my free shrugs. Take the cobwebs as well. I'll eat the pie. Thank you. Okay. More pie. Exoskeletal plate. This is important. I think I've seen this in some of the recipes that are coming up. We need exoskeleton plates for things, so putting that on the table now is a help. This is just a stone sword. I'm just going to chuck that straight in the trash. There's no... I can't even get pity iron from it for salvaging it, so it's worthless to me. Alright, on to the next level. People who have arachnophobia, you may once again wish to avert your gaze. There's a lot of them here. Like, a lot of them. There's a whole lot of them, actually. Okay, first of all, before we start any ruckus, let's break both spawners. This is horrifying. This is, like, several people's worst nightmare, including mine. I've had this nightmare, and I don't want to live it. Ouch. Ouch. Tarantulas are poisonous, who'd have thought? Yeah, that's what I thought. The hitbox is a little weird. Their abdomen kind of doesn't count. It's their body that you have to aim at. Otherwise, it seems to miss. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that real fast. Okay. Web Slinger can shoot webs if in your inventory. Anti-venom buckets. Okay, that's a little cute. All right. And more books, more jade, and some cobwebs. Great, I'll take that. I imagine the jade from Erebus has specific uses. I don't know if I can ore dick normal jade into Erebus jade, but we can always find out. Go ahead and put the books on the table. Aha! How horrifying. Okay. If you thought I was going to fight this giant horror fairly, you don't know anything about me. Interesting. She doesn't appear to be... Huh. She appears to be trying to sit on me and kill me that way. Okay, she is reoriented. We're a bit more correct this time. She's still going to die, though. I hate it. I hate everything about it. Just die. What did she drop? Tarantula Boss Trophy, which is a chest piece. I think it can also be super enchanted. Yeah, it can. I've seen it on the super enchant list. This is mine with a pickaxe. You work the exact same way as, right, Tarantula Egg. You have an EMC value. Okay. I was worried it would teleport, but it seems as though that part isn't copied from the Ender Dragon. Okay. That's good. That's good. We've killed one of them. So we've got the queen dead. I think that's a good place to / home. Okay. How full is that bag? Full-ish. I'll tell you what. Let me go down to the Botania stuff. Let me find my... First of all, let me take the night vision thing off. Let me find my my flower petal bag. One of the things that I really want to find in the Betweenlands is we got to find a spirit tree. Okay, the spirit tree, its fruit is necessary to make the angel ring. It's one of the things we're missing. It is one of the things we do not yet have to make the angel ring, to upgrade out of the squid ring and into the angel ring. We're going to have to get one. And it's also used to make a lot of other things. By the way, this is the chest I was talking about. See how both stuff from the chickens is also being transported into this ender chest as well. This ender chest is just farm disposal. Everything I farm that has EMC, from the chickens or from the farm upstairs in the forestry multi-block, gets filtered through the brown, yellow, brown channel through this ender chest, and that gets pumped directly into here. As you can see, I already have a stack, almost 2 stacks of red matter. Look at this! Right. I should mention, by the way, I did switch off of the normal chickens. We are instead of making the dye chickens now, I have both rows full of emerald chickens, and I'm just having them both pump out emeralds, and I'm having everything sent to the ender chest. So that's one of the reasons I have so much EMC now, is I've just got that running passively. Yeah, let's go ahead and do one of these. Do one of these. Put those chests away. Where is my bag? There it is, the flower pouch. So if I were to take these and... Actually, the flower pouch doesn't hold the petals, does it? It only holds the flowers. Yeah, that's correct. So that wouldn't have helped me anyway. Let's just take the petals out and put them away here where they belong. Okay. No, give me my excavator, please. Okay. We'll auto-sort that again. The 2 enchanted books we can put into our enchanted storage. Everything else I'm kind of cool to leave where it is, although the iron will get melted down into pity iron. I think everything else is fine. Put the chests away, yeah, and we'll start melting the iron down into some pity iron ingots. It's literally not even worth my time to do it. I should probably just throw it in the trash, but I'm doing it anyway. Melt this down and turn them into some pity iron. Actually, yeah, turn this on. I'm now extracting automatically using pipes because it's much faster. It's easier to do bulk. This will pull everything out and push it through this ingot cast and the smart outputs. I've been using this to make a lot of things: electrum, bronze, aluminum, brass, and constant. It works quite well. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to the Betweenlands, I think. And that is probably the last place we'll go. I think we've officially been to everywhere now, haven't we? All the base dimensions. We've been to the Infinite Fortress, which I'm gonna have to look up Divine RPG and figure out how Arcana works, right? I've got to look that up. I've got to set up some stuff to fight the Gaia Guardian eventually. We've been to the Everdark. We've been to the Twilight Forest. Sons of Witches, right? Tools of the Master Witch. I have one of them, the Tarantula Boss Trophy. I need the Flux-infused bow. Jeez, which is made from... So the Flux-infused bow is fluxed armor plating, orange matter, divine shards, and a bow. And then it can be super enchanted with 4 demonic horns, demon heart, a sigil of ruin, and then dragon's blood plastic, which is dragon blood resin run through the plastic generation process. And that creates the Brave, Power XII, Infinity, Leech 3, Multi-Rend 6, which I think it means that it shoots 6 arrows every time you shoot an arrow, I think, or something like that. I'm not even sure if I can use that bow if I could make it, because I think that's staged. I don't think I can use that enchantment yet. So Tools of the Master Witch. We have the Bros Trophy now, though. Most of the Master Sorcerer tools are actually from the Aether. I'd have to go find a Holy Sword. You can make the Ice Ring and the Ice Pendant and the Phoenix Gloves. These could all be super enchanted. Most of which just give them mending and unbreaking. We'll also have to make a Mantle of Stars at some point, which needs to be made on the Iridescent Altar. This is the thing we need to treat. Found exploring the Betweenlands surface. We need to find a Spirit Tree, because if we kill it, it'll give us Spirit Tree saplings, which can give us Spirit Fruit. Spirit Fruit is used to make the Angel Ring. We're very close to having everything we need. Night Metal we can get from the Twilight Forest. We have Divine Shards and Totems of Undying already. As soon as I figure out how to work the puzzle in the Arcane Fortress, we can get Arcanum. Then all we will need is the Spirit Fruit and the ability to make Violet Matter, and we'll be able to make an Angel Ring, which is a very big deal. It's super important. We can also use the Spirit Fruits to make a variety of other things. The 32 Spirit Fruit, 64 Eternus Fuel, a Red Matter, and Liquid Corallium, which was that stuff I told you not to touch in the Wastelands, is also how we make Deep Blue Matter, although we only need to do it once because it does have an EMC value. And they can be thrown in a culinary generator as well to generate a lot of RF. So let's go to the Betweenlands real fast, and let's see if we can... We're going to kite around the surface of the Betweenlands and see if we can find a Spirit Tree. I would say they're in the swamp, but if you've ever been to the Betweenlands, that is a uniquely unhelpful description of their location, because the entire dimension is essentially just Bubble Goop Swamp from Banjo and Kazooie. You know that one swamp level that gave you a ton of trouble when you were playing Donkey Kong back in the day? The Donkey Kong Country, Diddy's Conquest, any of those games ring a bell? Are you old like I am? It's that. It's a terrible dimension full of poison and pollution and nasty swamp things that'll eat you. It's pretty bad. But we need to find a Spirit Tree, so let's go look for one. Let's see if we're lucky enough to get one nearby. And I'm going to top off my my drink while we teleport there. Now, like I said earlier, I mentioned this in passing. As long as you're here, you're slowly... see, all my cooked chicken turned into rotten food. This food is not nourishing enough to improve your health. Food rots as soon as it appears in the Betweenlands. which is part of the appeal, I guess, part of the charm of being here. Only food from the Between Lands can work in the Between Lands. Likewise, in theory, only tools from the Between Lands can work in the Between Lands too, but Tinker's is a way around that, because Tinker's construct stuff works differently. It's not a real tool. However, the Sentient Sword is going to be crap here. It's going to be trash. It's not going to do hardly any damage because it's not a Between Lands tool. But if I brought the Tinker's Sword out of storage, it would do normal damage here. So let's go ahead and look around. I have a list of things I want to get here. We need a sap tree for starters because we need to get that sap. You see how those balls have cut in half from the last time I was here? As long as I'm here, I'm slowly turning into a zombie, and that's the measure of how corroded I am, how degraded I've become. In fact, I think it actually changes your physical appearance too. Let me show you. You can see I'm starting to get a little gray around the edges. My character is. I'm starting to get greenish gray. You can really tell it's happening on the top of my head, on my hair. The longer we're here, the more like a zombie I'm going to look. And if all those bubbles go away, I'm going to look like a zombie version of Steve. Okay, that's just what this is. Shambler. Oh man, this place is so nasty and weird looking. This is every horrible swamp level from every video game you've ever played. Tries to latch onto me. Fortunately, I have a battle sign. Believe it or not, the lurkers are actually kind of on your side. They're a very aggressive crocodilian creature, but they don't naturally aggro on players. So having them in the water is good because they'll attack things that are dangerous. So lurkers are pretty cool. I know I'm invisible, so they can't see me anyway, but as long as you don't attack them, lurkers will pretty much completely leave you alone. They're like bone-armored crocodile fish dinosaurs. They're pretty cool, actually. Don't be too intimidated by them. I like to see them because it means they'll attack any piranha in the area, and believe me, piranha are a much bigger threat. These geckos are important because we can use them to test different substances in the Slender Cliptail Grazer. I think this is the new Between Lands too, isn't it? We can use these guys to test the different poisons and potions. You need to test it on a gecko and write it down in a book. That's how potioneering works in the Between Lands, is you have to experiment, and geckos are your critters of choice. Sorry if you have a pet gecko. I think this is the new Between Lands though, isn't it? You can like go fishing and stuff here too now. There's been some changes. Yes, and there's the greebles. The greeblings. These little gnar monster goblin things riding these lockjaw bats. What we're really looking for, is it these? Wow, that guy jumped straight up out of the water. Ooh, we have a men here. I think this is a nibble twig. Oh no, this is one of them. This is what we want. Hang on. If we knock this tree down, we'll get sap. Yep. And we will also get... Do we get any saplings? We got 3 sap tree saplings. Hang on. They can be put on the thing. Sap tree. Go ahead and put these 2 on. Sap. There. I will replant this because these are valuable. It will grow back in time. And if I eat this ball of sap used in Censor, it has uses. But if I eat this, watch. See that thing is going back up? You also see how my vision zoomed back in, almost like I was poisoned. This is how you fight it, is the sap from the sap trees is how you do it. Rotten food, apple, rotten food, apple. Oh, I see. It tried to give me apples from the tree as reward for chopping it, and then they immediately rotted. Okay. By the way, in vanilla Between Lands, this is pitched as sort of as a dimension between other dimensions. It's not its own proper location. And there's like these giant fissures in the sky, and you can occasionally see the overworld, the end, and the nether through those cracks, just like shots of them. And I think the idea is things that fall through the cracks of reality end up in the Between Lands, and it all sort of rots and like composts down. So this is like a compost heap dimension between worlds, essentially, is what the Between Lands is. It's a very cool concept. Sainagh and his own little lore for this pack seems to have largely kind of gone for the same general idea. Although, to be fair, I have made a terrible mistake. Before we go too far, let me mark the entrance. I keep forgetting to do this. It's a cardinal sin to not do this. Let me mark the entrance real fast, and then we will move on. We'll start exploring. That is a ruined structure. There might be something in there. There is. I can see chests. We will check that in a moment. Let me go ahead and... Oh, and I think that's a giant log over there. Let me go inside. It's not safe in here, but it's relatively safe. We'll call this Home Portal. O-R-T-A-L, Home Portal. Okay. Save. And then we will... that's a swamp flat over there. That might be where we need to go if we want to try and find a tree. Let's check out that ruin first that we glided over. Let's check that and see what's in here. By the way, touching the water causes you to decay at a tremendous rate. Just to be clear, the decay will happen very quickly if you go into the water. I thought there was stuff here. Is there nothing in here? Strange. Let me pull out a shovel real fast and dig through these two dirt. Is there nothing here? Unfortunate. It looks like there's nothing here. That's the sound that lurkers make. They sound almost exactly like gators in real life. If you've ever been around gators, it sounds very similar to what they sound like in real life. I assume the person who made this has been to Florida at least once. Heart of the Stag heals 10 hearts when consumed, always edible. Stag beetle spawn eggs are craftable. Oh, so it's like a healing potion. That's pretty cool. Spawn egg beetles are craftable. So I could craft them and I could woot them and just mass produce hearts of the stag. That's pretty cool. Give me the sap, because we're going to need to eat it as we travel. I think we're going to go to that abyssal mud swamp plain that we saw on the edge of the vision. I'm not quite sure what biomes the spirit tree can spawn in, but I think that's one of them. Where were you? I saw you on the edges of my vision. You were around. Yeah, this is it. Like I said, this is one of those dimensions like the Twilight Forest where it's a whole game unto itself. Like this is an entire you could if Mojang released the Betweenlands as its own standalone companion game to Minecraft, people would accept it. You could buy it, right, as being a whole game unto itself. This is not much inherently different from what Minecraft was 5 or 6 years ago. In fact, in some ways, it's more complex. Pots of Chance have RNG mechanics. See how slowly I mine stuff? You see this? Every normal tool works this way in the Betweenlands. You need Betweenlands stuff to mine in the Betweenlands efficiently. We do want to be careful, though, because we can get peat mummies in this marsh, and peat mummies are quite dangerous. So dangerous, in fact, that there is specifically an item that you can craft to distract them so you can run away. But we have magic. I'm not terribly... Basilisk Arrow causes paralysis. Reed ropes. Okay. I'm not terribly intimidated by them, especially since I can just fly. But... that's definitely some kind of structure. I'm not familiar with what that is. We're also looking for a castle, because that will have the final boss in it, but those are quite rare. We may have to travel for 1,000 blocks to see one of those. You fight the primordial evil on the top of those. The primordial evil is a fun fight. It is a puzzle fight. Sulfur is this dimension's version of coal. We use it as a fuel. Aha, termites. These can also spawn inside inside pots of chance, little monsters. Get wrecked. Orange Dentrithist shard. Item scrolls. That's random loots. We can decrypt that using a certain thing from the Between Lands. There's a way to decrypt those. I'm seeing these squares. I don't recognize these hollow cubes as being something. Although when I played the Between Lands, it was several updates ago. Ooh, a white's heart. Normally, you have to kill whites to get those. Obviously, whites are a little bit scary. Is this a custom multi-block that he's got spawning, or is this a normal structure here that's just from an update that I'm not familiar with? Oh, this is the fighting thing, right. This has a monster spawner next to it. This is spawning swamp hags. We need to break this. There we go. And then we can claim this stuff inside of it. This is a swamp hag. It's like a zombie, except way more jacked up. It's got mold and stuff growing out of it. Its brain is exposed. It's kind of gross. Since we're invisible, they can't see us. They also have a lot of health. They're very tough. They're not that tough, comparatively speaking, to where we are right now, but they're pretty tough in vanilla. Weeping Blue Petals. That's important. Pink Marshmallows, another item scroll, an amulet socket. That's one of the things that Between Lands offers. You can find magical gems and wear them. You can also equip. You can also combine them with tools to equip them to a tool. Each thing can have one. The amulet slots, that's a white over there. I'll show you that in just a moment because I don't think he's going to aggro on us until we fight him. Let me eat the pink marshmallow because that's new food. But I guess we'll eat one blue petal as well. That cleanses us. That can remove curses and things. But the amulet socket is part of the process of equipping amulets. So getting one is quite nice. Anyway, first of all, before we even fight that white, we're going to kill these hags, because hags and whites can combine into a much more terrifying creature if you don't do something about it. Also, these sludges are spawning out of this sludge. Okay. I think this is, yeah, mud. This is the horrible biome that bogs you down. This can be terrible because you can get overrun by sludges and other things while you're in this biome, and you can hardly move because you're so slowed down. It's a terrible death trap of a biome. Anyway, let's pick a fight with that white. Whites look like Endermen that are wearing armor. They kind of don't aggro you immediately, but believe me, if I wasn't invisible, he'd be coming for me. Let me throw that at him. There. Now he's not happy. He's coming for me. He knows where I am now. He is slowed down by the mud, but he can move very quickly on normal land if he wants to. Look how fast he's moving on the mud. This is in the mud, and he runs that quick. Imagine how fast he is normally. There's also several whites. I think they're all aggroing on me now. But anyway, whites are quite dangerous. Their most dangerous trick is not to hit you. If they are at low health and they get close enough to you, they will discorporate their body, and then they will possess you. And this slowly damages you until you die. It does not stop. The way to deal with being possessed by a white is their head will be spinning around you in orbit. You have to time a swing and hit them in the head as they are spinning around you. And that is how you stop possession by a white. But if you're panicking, if you're being slowed or blinded, if you're in the middle of fighting other things, getting whited can be lethal. And the worst thing that can happen is if a white possesses a swamp hag, in which case the same thing happens, but the swamp hag isn't hurt by it. The swamp hag is buffed by this, and the possessed hag will come after you, and it is horrible. It's still not as bad as a peat mummy though, but it's not great. Let me open this chest real quick, and then I will check. Read donuts. Does the book have any suggestions? Does the book tell us where the thing spawns? Found exploring the Betweenland surface. It doesn't. It says it's just found by exploring. Okay. So here's what we'll do. I've eaten that. By the way, this is also a mechanic that the Betweenlands introduces. Is it has weapons that are bane against certain types of enemies. The Critter Cruncher is good against all bugs. There's also like a Slime Slicer, which is good against any slime creatures like the sludges. And there's also a White's Bane, which is a dagger that does massive damage to whites. The White's Bane is the important one, although we have powerful magic in this pack. We are just absolutely slapping people with magic, so I don't really think finding a White's Bane is that big of a deal. But I could certainly keep an eye out for one. Now, what is this? This is a structure. The Sludgian Tower. Light the braziers. That's like a mirror. That's really cool. This is some kind of puzzle we have to solve. Oh, wait. Is this... Oh, wait. I think I get it. Is this Beam Passage? Okay, so this is like Legend of Zelda stuff, straight up. We have to... Okay, hang on. I think coming in from the top was a mistake. Let's come in from the bottom. I think this might help us. Okay, so we have beam lenses. Ah, sludges are coming. Unfortunately, sludges can see you through invisibility. They're just going to harass us. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. I'm guessing we have to... Oh, Urn of Chance. Oh, it's not letting me break it until we solve the puzzle. So there's loot around this place, but we just can't access it until we solve the puzzle. Okay. Energy barriers. Okay. So I think we can spin these. But to what end? Like, where's the beginning point? There has to be a point where light begins, right? There has to be something we can... Oh, that's tar. We could get a tar mummy out of that, a tar beast. We kind of want to stay away from that tar. That's dangerous. Tar beasts are not to be trifled with. They're right up there with peat mummies in terms of threat. In fact, I wonder if I can show you this. I have a ton of health and I have Ice Shard. Let me see if I can summon one by stepping into it. No. Doesn't look like there's a tar beast in this pit. Sometimes there's tar beasts in these pits, and they're quite dangerous. Okay. So... I can tell that where the lenses are supposed to go, right? It's supposed to... And obviously I'm flipping these around, but I need to find the start, right? I need to find where the light begins before I can start daisy-chaining it through lenses and stuff. I'm sorry, what just happened? Oh, some of the rotten planks are collapsing. I see. I get it now. So... So where does the light start, though? I'm confused. Like, I understand the concept of the puzzle, but... So that reflects a picture of the braziers burning. Do I have to light the braziers first, not last? Is that the goal here? Oh, right. We need... Okay. I think maybe I have to light the braziers first and then solve the puzzle going down. But we're going to need octine for that, and I have to go mining to find octine. Octine is an incendiary metal that is found in this dimension. I think I'm going to need the octine igniter for that. Yeah, hot enough to set moss on fire. I think you can just click with an ingot to start fires, is how this works, right? You can also make weapons out of it as well. We're going to need to find octine to make this work. Okay, I'm going to mark this and I will come back to this. We'll come back to that. I'm going to need an octine ingot to do that. There was another giant, like, snarling thing. Was it over here? There was, like, a giant tangled root structure. What was that? There's a white. I sure am glad I made that that night vision helmet. It's really pulling its weight right now. We're going to have to wrap this up in a little bit because I know I've overrun by a significant amount. I have once again broken my promise to keep this. That's a tar beast! Hang on, let me throw hands at that tar beast. They're horrifying looking. I hate them. They're great. A tar beast heart is a valuable object. We need it. That's what tar beast looks like. Believe me, it would be extremely hostile if we weren't invisible. He can sort of see us, but he doesn't because the invisibility cloak is stopping it. Let me take the invisibility cloak off so you can get the full experience because this is a horrifying encounter. There we go. Knock, knock, open up the door. It is real with a non-stop pop-pop of stainless steel. Hello? Yes? Yes, hello. Come on, I hyped you up, man. Don't... Oh, yep, there he goes. He's slowed me and chained me, so now I can't move very well. He's much more... Yep, now he's doing it. This is what he does. He's actually quite fast when he wants to be. And if he can get you in the tar, he'll really mess you up. But the valuable thing about him is he drops tar drips. He also drops tar beast hearts, but it looks like we didn't get one this time, which is fine. Tar beast hearts are important. We need them for things. Let's continue to sniff around and see what we can see. I doubt it's in the deep water biome, although the deep water biome is a very cool place to be. There's lots of piranha down here as well as lots of lurkers. You can get a lot of food here just by hanging out near the surface in a boat. In the civil war between the piranhas and the lurkers, a lot of food will float to the surface and you can just scoop up steaks. Just get free meat all day. Looks like that is still a valid tactic because they are murdering each other down there. Go get them, guys. All my homies love lurkers. This is real lurker hours. I think it's, yeah, we'll give this 5 more minutes. I'm going to fly around and we'll see if we can find anything to do here. And if we can't find it in that time, then I'm going to call it. That is some kind of weird sky island. What is that? Raised Isles? Is that a Cragrock Spire? Yeah, that's a Cragrock Spire. That's a pretty cool trick. Okay. Deep waters, raised isles. Flat, round, up in the sky. That is a Chiroma matriarch. That is a mini boss fight, and it's funny that it's next to a Cragrock Spire because this is a dungeon. There's 2 of them here. That's horrifying. So if you wanted a pet Chiramaw, I believe a sudden unnatural hunger consumes you. Oh, that's warp related. I see. There's Chiramaw hatchlings here, and you can essentially steal one, and raise it, and you can get your own pet Chiramaws, but you need to raid those nests, if I recall correctly. The unnatural hunger thing is more warp-related stuff. It means I want to eat undead flesh, and as long as I'm not doing that, I'm going to take massive hunger damage, which is unfortunate. But there's not a whole lot we can do about that, because I don't have a lot of basic food with me. I can't make normal food here, and we don't really have a steady source of Between Lands food just yet, so I'm just going to have to grin and bear it. But what they want me to do is they want me to eat rotten flesh and stuff like that. That's how you stop that. This is a warp event. This has nothing to do with the Between Lands. This is Buildcraft happening. This is my punishment for harvesting the critters. What on earth is happening over there? Are they fighting something? There's a Valenite shard in this nest. What? King of the Hill. Oh yeah, they're fighting the little goblin dudes are fighting them. That's funny. The goblin dudes have stirred them up. That's hysterical. What on earth is teleporting me? I'm not sure what's doing that. I don't think I'm involved because I'm invisible. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter that much. Look at the little baby Chiramaws. And there's a dead goblin in the nest. That's pretty funny. The scent of you has tainted this nest forever. Chiramaws will no longer abide here. Yeah, because I touched the thing. I don't really care about taming them, though, so I'm not worried about ruining the nests. But essentially, you need to not do that. There's a specific way you have to approach these nests if you want to be able to swoosh in and sneak some baby Chiramaws, is how you have to do it. We're not going to do that. We'll do the Cragrock Spire, and I think we might stop. This is a dungeon of sorts. It's a good thing I have tremendous amounts of health. So I can just tank the starvation that I'm having to endure right now. Okay. We got Octine Nuggets. We could make an Octine Ingot if we wanted to. Angry Pebbles, which I think those are just grenades. They blow up, I think, if you throw them. Put that away. I'll eat the jam donuts. Do these have an EMC value? No, they don't. So I can just eat these without any fear of consequences. Your hunger cannot be satisfied with normal food. Yeah, I know. You've inflicted me with cannibalistic lusts that can no longer be sated, I'm well aware. Okay, and that's just some reeds. Okay. I'm hoping one of these will give me a straight Octine Ingots, but I don't think I'm going to get that lucky. We did get some Valenite shards, though, which arguably Valenite is more important than Octine in the grand scheme of things. Valenite is like this dimension's version of diamonds, essentially. It's one of the more valuable substances that can be found. And the Dendrocysts, if I remember correctly, Dendrothysts are used to essentially wax your weapons to stop them from being degraded by the decay of the dimension, because it'll start degrading tools. Tools will start to degrade over time. You can essentially apply a wax coating to them to stop that from happening. Temporarily. The coating will wear off after a while. Okay. another, we get another what's it, that's nice, another socket. Right, Pyrods. I think these dudes can drop Octine, actually. I heard you up there, White. Moaning and groaning. This is a white spawner. We need to break that real quick. Okay. Believe me, this would be a lot harder if we weren't permanently invisible thanks to the Aether. Well, it wouldn't be that much harder. I would just slowly walk up the tower with my shield held up, but you get the idea. I think now that we break this, the Crag Rock thing will end. Are we done here? I think we are. How the cookie crumbles? Right. I think the spire is about to collapse is what's going to happen. We good, bro? I don't see any spirit tree from here, unfortunately. Is it not going to collapse on me? I thought they always collapsed on you. Oh no, it's collapsing. It's just taking its time. How did I get up here? Right, I think it tries to give you time to collect all the pots and everything, and then this place starts to crumble. This is a much more generous version of the battle tower. I'm used to things like this, which is why the battle tower caught me off guard. The battle tower ditching you the way it does. This is a bit more. This is a bit more Indiana, a bit more fair, a bit more Indiana Jones-ish in how it works. Although, to be fair, it really hurts to get hit by the falling rocks. Don't do that. Try and avoid being hit if you can. Ouch. Something broke. Oh, it broke my night vision helmet. Wow, that was a lot of damage it did to my head. I did not anticipate that. I'm going to have to make a new one. That's really sad. That was my rupee helmet. No, rupee helmet. F's in the chat for the rupee helmet. Well, Perhaps that is as clear an indication as we're going to get that we should leave, because it's really dark out here now. This is daytime too. This is daytime in the between lands, and this is the colors you're working with. Jeez. This place is so dingy. Alright, I'm going to have to look for a spirit tree in my own time, it seems. I think we're going to go ahead and cut it here. I think we have no choice. I will go ahead and eat some more of this, though, to stave off. I'll eat some of this sap. To stave off the rot, and I think we will just backslash home. We'll backslash home. I will incur more warp events and try and get the essence that we need to progress, because we do need some Abyssal Wasteland essence to continue. Actually, I shouldn't eat this. I should save all of my Between Lands food for the Between Lands. We'll cut it here, I think. We don't really have much choice. We got a lot done. I showed a lot of things. Let me check, though, just for laughs. How far did we get in our perk tree? I wasn't quite paying attention. We are now level 20. Hey, I got 20 perk points I could spend on this. You see, these are things like increases movement speed by 3%, increases movement speed by 3%, right? And then agility, 5% increased movement speed plus 5% additional dodge chance. So there's a 5% flat chance that when I get hit, I just won't get hit. Now that we're out of that, we have to path our way out of it. We can go to a lot of different things. Some of these perks are locked because we cannot grasp them yet. We don't have sufficient knowledge. My normal trick is I always go for Spectral Wings, which makes it so normally the Vicio aligned mantle, because you can align the mantles. You can attune them to things as well to give them special powers. They're the chest piece. Normally, the Vicio mantle, when you wear it, its special power is it also functions as an elytra, so you can glide around like you have an elytra on. The Spectral Wings perk makes it so that the Vicio mantle now grants creative flight instead of elytra gliding. My normal trick is to build directly towards this, and then once I have that perk, I will then go around and just pick up whatever I fancy with the points I have left, because I think this caps at like 50. I think you cap at level 50, you only get 50 points to spend or something like that. However, since we are in a pack that also has the full suite of extra utilities to stuff, including the Angel Ring, I feel like going for Spectral Wings is a waste, so I'm not really sure what I want to build towards now. Because there's a lot of stuff I could take. There's some pretty spicy things. Blade Finesse, 25% crit damage multiplier, 20% increased melee damage. That's pretty spicy, right? Area of effect, plus 2 levels of Sweeping Edge on everything I have, and Sweeping Edge also works on ranged attacks, so I'll be shooting AoE arrows, and I think all of my magic will become AoE as well. It'll act like it's all have Sweeping Edge. That's pretty spicy. Constant Luck, plus 1 level of Fortune at all times. Mending, occasionally your armor repairs itself a bit for free. Cleansing, regenerating life, may remove a negative status effect. Right, there's a lot of pretty good perks out here on the outer edge. Trash to Treasure, voids all dropped trash items, occasionally yields valuable ores when voiding trash. That one's a little bit finicky. I've never really used it much. I think you have to throw trash out of your inventory. Like, you have to physically drop cobblestone onto the ground from your inventory, and that's how it voids it. It'll eat it and then occasionally spit back something nice, like a gotcha machine. Is essentially how that works. Some of these are quite good. Additional fins, increases and decreases movement speed. Also applies to swimming speed at 50% of their value. So if you are very fast, additional fins also gives you that much, half of that in swim speed. Bigger stomach decreases your need for food. Gem sockets, because Astral Sorcery also has gems that you can create, and you can get sockets to socket gems in on this tree, and the gems will give you buffs as well. This Invocation, plus 200% runic shielding, 75% less armor, 15% more elemental resistance. Your health is set to 1. So essentially what that's doing is it gives you... It's almost like if you're playing a first-person shooter, like if you're playing Halo or something, you only have 1 health, but you have regenerating shields, right? And you have a ton of elemental resistance, right? So it's like I have a constantly regenerating shield bubble, And then I can do things to increase that runic shield strength even more, which is a pretty radical change. Like that's a pretty big evolution of how you would play your character. Bulwark, +6 added armor, +2 added armor toughness. Body blocking, 5% of your damage taken is instead applied directly to your armor. Unwavering, you cannot be knocked back, etc., etc. We'll figure something out. If you have any suggestions, feel free to, I don't know, yell them out in the comments. I'll consider anything you have to say about this, but I'm not sure what to do because normally I go straight for Spectral Wings, but Spectral Wings is unnecessary in this pack. Chain lightning arc bolts chain 2 additional times. Sometimes hitting mobs is a chance to spawn chaining lightning bolts between the hit and nearby mobs. And then you can get arc chaining so it bounces an additional 2 times. There's some pretty cool stuff you can get here, but I think we'll call that for now. I'll clean this bag up. I'll go looking maybe for a spirit tree because I think we're going to need to get one. And I didn't get a chance to do one thing that I did want to do, but I can confirm it because I tried it. I wanted to go into a maze. I guess we'll do that next time. We'll go into the Twilight Forest and progress there. Because to progress in the main quests, we need to be able to make a wormhole. And to make the wormhole, we need fiery. We need fiery ingots, which are, you get fiery tears and fiery blood from killing the Hydra. Okay? And you can combine it with iron ingots to get fiery ingots. Apparently there's also a patch for it for Mystic Agriculture. We might make these seeds as well, just so I have an infinite supply of it. But essentially, we need to kill the Hydra to progress, because we need to make these fiery plates. Without progressing, we can't do that. I think I can do pretty much everything else here right now, but the plates are holding me back. They're holding me back! And to do that, of course, we need to beat the maze. I can confirm that the Dire Pick does break Maze Stone because I tested it. I took it to the maze and swung it at it. It breaks. It has a high enough efficiency, it goes through it like normal stone. So we're definitely going to be able to make cheese of that maze, but we'll save that for next time. But I did want to confirm that I have tried it. I tested that. My hypothesis was correct. The Dire Pick's efficiency is high enough, it can just chew right through those walls. So, and what does the Hardbone do? I'm sorry. I've seen this in a recipe for something. There's a reason I want it. Right, we need it. So we need Dripping Combs and Cosmic Meatballs with this Hardbone to make a skeletal callstone. Your first callstone, right-click to summon a dungeon. But what is a callstone? What mod is this from, right? Like, callstones. What are these? Most of these are made through Content Tweaker, like Scotanomicon with shards and muon crystals to make the horrific callstone. There's a Nightmare callstone. Like, all of these are made by Content Tweaker, so I don't even know what they do. Do they just summon dungeons? Holy crap. The Recursion Prison Key. It's a callstone. The Creeponia. The Deeplands. Skythern. Made from Skythern Souls. I'll make this, and I guess we'll do that next episode. I don't know what this is, but we'll try it out. I don't know what it is, though. I'm confused by what that is. They almost make it sound like if you click on it, it just makes a dungeon pop into existence in front of you, but that sounds ridiculous. That can't possibly be what they're talking about, can it? Use the Voidseer Caster Gauntlet upgraded with an Impetuous Conductor and charged with rifts on a Fracture. Find using a Fracture Locator. We got to start building towards the Dreadlands. We need to upgrade. You can upgrade the key to allow it to punch holes to new dimensions. It'll open new dimension portals. don't... On Magical Mastery. I don't think there's anything on Callstones that I've seen in this. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they're for. But I guess we're gonna find out, aren't we? Anyway, I have massively overrun my time once again because I am a disaster who cannot manage their time effectively like a normal person. And I'm also starting to get a headache, although it's not because of this, it's because the weather here is terrible and it's just taking a turn for the worse, and it's giving me a terrible headache from all the pressure changes. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here, I think. I don't really know... I don't see anything about Callstones. I don't know what it is that we're about to make, but I guess that's the fun of making it, right? Ha, make it and click it and see what happens. On the off chance it actually does make some kind of crazy dungeon spawn right on top of me, I will be making it somewhere else. We will put it in a different location, I think. Oh wait, no. Let's go to Callstone. Your first Callstones summon gungeons, so don't use them in your base. A gungeon. As in a dungeon with guns. Like enter the gungeon, escape from the gungeon. Is that a typo? D is kind of close to G on the keyboard, but on the other hand, knowing the mod developer, knowing the pack dev, that might not be a typo. We might be about to go to the gungeon. I don't know. We'll find out. The key thing, though, is now I can make resplendent ingots. The ability of Terra chickens to resonate with various types of matter is quite remarkable, but in terms of uses, it's pretty underwhelming. Thanks to a bit of astral magic, though, I can make my own modified chickens. I was really getting sick and tired of searching for Ascended Sapphire. And we can also start working on this as well to try and convert over to steam power using some of these reactors and stuff. I don't think I showed this. This is what I'll do, and then we'll leave. I'll show you this. I've been working on trying to make a reactor, but I kind of got stuck because I ran out of certain materials, like Emberstone and Blood Gems. You need a lot of them, which I assume is why he has this thing with the chickens, so you can get more. But over here, I made a lower area that goes down, and I'm in the process of making a basic reactor from Extreme Reactors in here. This is the legacy reactor that he kind of instructs you to do. I need more reactor blocks, though. These are very expensive to make, and essentially I was able to panel the sides and the back, but the top still needs a few more blocks, and the front doesn't have any blocks in it at all. So this is going to take a minute for me to do, but once I make those chickens, it should be pretty smooth sailing now that I can make the chickens. Oh, and one more thing. Buildcraft has these blocks that create nitrogen and helium over time. I've got them pumping into these containers because I know I'm going to need nitrogen and helium for later. I just wanted to mention, I think it's the nitrogen one. Are you the one? No, it's the helium. Okay. The helium one is going to ask for a thorium-230 block, which I couldn't figure out how to make. What you need to do is you can make thorium-230 by putting uranium-238 in a decay hastener, and then you can make uranium-238 by putting straight uranium, like vanilla uranium, or yellorium, into an isotope separator. So you separate the isotopes of normal uranium, and you get uranium-238, and then you can decay it into thorium, and that's what these two blocks were set up here to do, is the isotope separator and the decay hastener. I'm not quite sure why some modpack developers insist on requiring you to learn literal rocket science and actual nuclear physics in order to play modded Minecraft, but that is a thing you will have to learn at some points. I think it's a government conspiracy. I think it's straight up a psyop. I think they were like, why aren't the youth engaged in hard STEM anymore? Well, sir, you see, they're playing modded Minecraft and other video games. I know, we'll just make mods that require them to get PhDs and doctorates in astrophysics and rocket science and just theoretical physics. And then that way, in 2035, when the aliens from Alpha Centauri invade, I'm going to get a knock on my door from the government, and they're going to tell me it's time, and that they need to bring me in and debrief me because I've been training for this my whole life and just haven't known about it. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. You can disagree with me if you want, but I think we're being trained. I think this is some kind of trick. I don't know why anyone would do this for fun. Some people are very sad, I guess. I don't know, but tune in next time when we learn actual nuclear physics, because that's the only way you're going to be able to progress this pack. I have to make a salt reactor. Do you have any idea what's involved in making a salt reactor? Look, I love Salt Reactors Edition. Do you? Do you really love salt reactors? I don't know. I have no answers. That was a good movie, though. There was a movie with that premise. I think it was called the last Starship Fighter, or the last Starship something or other. I'm really dating myself by mentioning that, but that is a older millennial thing. It was very cool. The idea of a kid who played an arcade game, and it was actually training him to become the hero of the galaxy. It was a secret training program. Anyone who received a high score above a certain threshold was automatically enrolled and got drafted into fighting evil aliens in outer space. It was kind of cool. I think that's what's happening with modded Minecraft. I think that's what is happening. I think we're in a last Starfighter scenario, but if you disagree with me, you're wrong. Just wanted to let you know. This has been Meatballcraft, Dimensional Ascension. I love Salt Reactors Edition. And this is Lord Rain. Good night, dear listeners. Good night.